next generation of sailing superstars are about to take to the water to test their skills. These are some of the most experienced young sailors in the world today.
On race day, it's always a lot of nerves and you want to get started, and we got to do that.
Action is what we are looking for on the opening day of racing for Group B, the invited teams.
Finally have all the boats on the race course and racing against the best of the world. It's just amazing.
Hard down and turning.
Team Germany and the Canadians absolutely ripping down.
This is definitely a whole new league, so it's been super fun and a big learning curve.
Pressure looks good ahead.
Potentially an overtaking move from the Canadians.
Nice.
It's like no other sailing I've ever done before.
You've got to score big points to make the top three in your group.
Well, you can have bad days sailing, but it's pretty hard to have a bad day in those boats.
Had their opportunities, the Australians, but just didn't quite execute.
Maybe we didn't get the result we wanted. We still have an amazing time. We're out there foiling in some of the best boats in the world.
What a story on the opening day. Sail Team Barcelona get the win in Race 1 Group B.
Yeah, it's so good. So good. We feel so good.
Sail Team Barcelona get the full 10 points.
We have to sail every race like this one, and we see that.
Buenas tardes, this is Barcelona. The weekend has arrived and the UniCredit Youth America's Cup is in full flight mode with a jam-packed program ahead. Yesterday in Group B, shifty winds made for tricky racing and staying on the fulls became somewhat of a lottery. If you made a mistake, you could quickly go from leader to spectator. Just ask the Swedish challenge. The story of the day was the home crew of Sail Team Barcelona. Out of the pack they sailed to snatch a vital 10 points and lead the fleet into today's racing. All eyes are on this prize, the UniCredit Youth America's Cup trophy. Win this, it's going to help with your aspirations of being an AC75 sailor. To be in the running to win, you need to be one of the top 3 point-scoring teams from your group. You'll then advance to a final series of 4 races with a fresh point start to decide the top 2 teams. Those 2 will then go head-to-head in a winner-takes-all single match race final on September 26. Yesterday, with just a single race, Sail Team Barcelona lead from Canada's Concord Pacific Racing, followed by the Swedish Challenge. With the points allocation, scoring in the top 3 is massive. A full set of 4 races are scheduled for today for the invited teams in Group B. And with only 1 race having been sailed so far, there are plenty of opportunities to gather points to make the top 3. Now it's time to go sailing. It might have been a slightly frustrating day waiting to get more racing yesterday, but you wouldn't have known talking to the teams. Their excitement at racing these AC40s is clear for everyone to see. They know that every time they jump in and head out to the race course, there's at least another 2 hours to understand how to manage these boats, sail them efficiently, and most importantly, sail them fast. All the 12 teams are hungry to win this regatta, and today is another opportunity. Oh, they all want to go for gold. Okay, let's meet the stars of the show.
Lacking hours on the tools, Canada's impressive comeback in the opening day will have furnished this outfit with belief. Driving its skipper Andrew Wood and women's skiff sensation Georgia Lune-Laflance, and in charge of pace its trimmers Jack Gogan and Andre Van Dam.
The local youth outfit of Sail Team Barcelona have a race win under their belt and have shown that they will be a force to reckon with on their local waters here in Barcelona. Driving the AC40 is Conrad Konitzer and Martin Wisner, and on sail trim is Antonio Torrado and Jaime Framis.
Frustrated with a disappointing result in the event opener, the Australian team will come out punching today. They need points to survive. Skippered by match racing rockstar Cole Tapper and surrounded by a team that knows how to go fast. It's offside helm, Ferguson, trimmers, Paul and Needham.
Team Germany is a mixture of talent with multi-hull, skiff and foiling experience. Led by women's skiff sailor Maru Scheel, she is joined on the wheels by Pau Farine, and on aero trim is the talented combination of Jesse Lindstad and Tom Heinrich.
favourites amongst the invited group, the Swedish team look polished and ready to go. And after a mid-fleet result in the opener, they'll be focused on delivering. Skipper is Engström and his offside partner Linkvist and experienced trimmers Olnebeck and Christensen.
From the Netherlands, Yacht Team Dutch Sail is hoping to get some points on the board after failing to start in yesterday's race here in Barcelona. On the wheels is world skiff and dinghy champions Paul Hartmann and Bart Lambrix. They are joined by the trimming pair of Elliot Zavlon and Bjarne Bauer.
6 young teams, all excited and fully ready to shine on the biggest stage. And if you've got the keys to a state-of-the-art 40-foot foiling machine, it's looking like a beaut of a day. The wind is in the east and predicted to be relatively stable. Currently, we're seeing between 10 and 15 knots. So on the menu, it is a full-on edge-of-your-seat action. And to help us make all the right decisions on the winning strategy, we'll be relying on the brilliant Windsight IQ, showing us the variations in the breeze. The course today is 2 fast-paced laps, and with tight boundaries forcing the boats together, we can expect tight racing, both upwind and down.
So here we go. If you think all the sailors, their shore teams and supporters are excited about racing, so are we. We are counting down to a start in race 2, Group B of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. 1 minute and 45 seconds and counting.
Time here to put your 5-point racing harness on, do it up tight, and make sure you've got a fresh set of tear-offs on your goggles. Today's going to be an exciting day for these teams out here, Shirley.
Yeah, we have been waiting for conditions like this. It is absolutely perfect. A really tight, short course. It's going to be full on.
Just a reminder, only 4 legs, okay? So only 4 legs, because we want lots of racing today. Wherever you're watching around the world, welcome to Barcelona on a day where you're going to get plenty of racing, because Mother Nature says, let's do this and do it well. Could be a crazy old afternoon on the water.
Yeah, it's about to get really fast. Target time for this race is only 15 minutes. You've got to be ready to go from the get-go.
Keeping 2 boards.
Heart rates will be up on all these teams, so they're all needing to be lining themselves up to get across that start line in the best possible shape they can and put themselves in a good position off that first boundary to take control of the race.
More down. And turning. Yours.
Forward and turning.
All the teams on the right-hand side of the start box looking to start on starboard. Spain a little early, killing time. Australia attacking the line at pace.
There'll be quite a few late starters here, I think, Shirley.
Let's go racing. Race 2, Group B, UniCredit Youth America's Cup. We are away.
Australia closest, just 30 metres back.
Everything we can to hold this line, boys. Yep.
A great start there by Andu Team Australia. They'll be looking to lock the boat in here. Swedish trying to come up round their bow, so the Swedes in a commanding position at this point in time.
Leaning all the time and by angle. More leeward, yeah, for us. One more.
Lots of boats coming to this boundary all together. Going to be a very interesting rule scenario.
Oh, this is great racing.
No issue to leeward. Trains coming on here. Right, okay, Dutch fold out. Really good mode. Your wheel and you can tack anytime. Stand by. 2, 1, port down. Adding rudder. Slack it, yeah, keep gaining all the time here.
Off the foils there, Andu Team Australia. That's not the tack they're going to want. The rest of the teams will absolutely sail around them like they're tied to the dock.
Sweden doing really well, going all the way to the boundary.
Nice tack there on the Swedish team.
This is the umpire's boundary penalty Sweden, boundary penalty Sweden.
What an unforced error there by the Swedish, by Emirates Technologies. They're going to have to duck down and get behind to pay their penalty. The lead change potentially. They still haven't watched their penalty there, so a little bit more to do.
I think they were slightly greedy there. There's a chance that you could potentially have got to the ley line. The course is so short.
Penalty clear.
Let's have a look at the Aussie tack there. Just too high on the foils. And down you come. And just having a look, Shirley, at the out of bounds here. How far did they go out? Half a boat length by the look of that. So just pushing a little bit too hard. An unforced error there by the Swedish, but still in the game.
So yesterday's race 1 winner, it's Sail Team Barcelona leading with Yacht Team Dutch Sail, who'll be happy they're up and running after missing out on yesterday, because they are a team that is chock full of talents. Quickly go to Peter Lester on board Chase Zero. Pete, interesting start.
Yeah, it was. 3 boats were off nice and clean, but then it was a poor start by the rest of the field and giving Sweden and Australia a good jump. The Australians, that touchdown, tacking from starboard to port because of the seaway is really tricky. It'll be easier to tack from port to starboard, but we saw that already so early
Germany
on.
Double
Quite a lot of
penalty,
errors.
Out of bounds. Germany double penalty, out of bounds.
Ouch.
So the Germans there going quite a distance out of bounds there. So if you go too far out of bounds, you will receive a double penalty, and that's exactly what has happened there. We'll just have a look at the replay here, and Germany coming back into the field of play there, but way too far out of bounds. So umpire Richard Slater, double penalty, and they will have to bear away.
Penalty clear.
It was so tantalisingly close to being able to lay the gate.
So at the top gate for the first time and completing the first of 4 legs, it's Sail Team Barcelona leading the fleet around, followed closely by the Swedish challenge. Then Yacht Team Dutch Sail take the opposite mark, following in Concord Pacific Racing. Germany have washed off their penalty, and coming up the tail of the fleet will be Andrew Team Australia.
Really nice rounding there by the Dutch team, and the Canadians also. Nice job. So Germans are going to be off the foils here, coming into the top mark, and Andrew Team Australia will do the Buffalo Girls around the outside here, and back into 5th place there. So all teams having to keep pushing hard here.
We tack Wilderport. Oh, Germans are stuck there, parked on the track.
Yeah, that's not exactly how they'd be wanting to get around that top gate, but anyway, at the lead is the Spanish team, the local crew. Really, really sending it downwind here. 2 boards down. They need to get that board up pretty quick, or they are going to get mown down by the Swedish team. You can see the difference in speeds there between the 2 boats, and the Canadians sailing really, really well.
I think the Spanish have an issue with their board, but making the best of it.
Not sure, they're definitely stuck in 2nd gear there for whatever reason.
I think we're gaining if we're going well, so just stick to that. But even pressure.
Heading down on the 2nd leg, it is the Swedish challenge powered by Artemis that are powering away from the fleet at this point. They have got the hammer down.
2-1, it's coming quick. I gotta be slightly fat in here. Copy.
Swedish team there just needing to ease that front sail a little bit more on those exits, those jibes, although they're sailing really well.
Focus on the performance.
Full stall on the front of the jib there, exiting.
Great pace, the Canadians, when they get rolling. They've done so well to come back from that penalty. Oh!
Massive, massive Don't argue from the H2O. Push your goggles back on your face.
So wavy.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, lengthening the course to 1.4 nautical miles and shifting the axis to 0.85.
Canada's Concord Pacific Racing making the most of it.
This is the umpires. Canada boundary penalty. Canada boundary penalty.
Well, that's the adding insult to injury after those 2 touchdowns for Concord Pacific Racing. So they'll have to watch that penalty off as the Swedish challenge. Whoa!
Turning upfield.
That's making the most of the conditions. They will complete 2 legs of 4 in this second race of Group B.
They were leading, just nicked this. Yeah.
Really loose moments here. Team from Barcelona, though, Stephen.
Yeah, mate, they're making the most of being on their home track. Although they admitted yesterday they hadn't spent much time on it, but they'll make every post to win it. They've already got 10 points. You've got to finish that top 3 at the end of this. But if you finish the top 3 consistently racing, huge advantage. And do Team Australia have really got themselves, so to use your phrase, they've got the big shovels out, Glenn, after their start, that poor tack on leg 1, and now sit in position 3 as they complete 2 legs, followed in by Yacht Team Dutch Sail, and then it's Concord Pacific Racing.
Nice rounding there by the Dutch team. The Canadians having to get round cleanly. Really good battle here for the minor placings at the moment.
Every point critical in this. Remember, they're fighting for one of the 3 spots to get them into the next round.
It's 5 laps to the main right now.
So that hydraulic system won't allow that windward board to come up if it's too negatively loaded. So the team's having to balance the aero package and make sure that windward board is neutrally loaded to get it out of the water. Otherwise, the hydraulic system will not let it come out as quickly as it needs to. Really, really loose tack there by the Dutch team, but pulled it off. And do Team Australia there will be pressing on the woolies of that jib to try and get across the top of the Dutch there if they can. Great racing.
On to chase 0, Peter Lesser. Good racing.
Some teams are just showing really good boat handling, and I'm impressed by the Swedish team. Obviously, they haven't put a foot wrong since they got that early penalty. The other team that are moving through the fleet, and it's through good boat handling, are the Australians. And it will just be interesting to see if the Aussies can roll round the Spanish team. Right now, I think the Aussies are on the charge, back there in 3rd position. But out in front, it's still Sweden being really, really solid and doing clean manoeuvres both upwind and downwind.
Most importantly, we can see AC Team Germany back up and forwarding on that second leg, the first downwind. Remember, only 4 legs, so this is leg number 3.
Okay, all of them keep going. Copy.
The Swedish challenge powered by Artemis Technologies have been training here all summer with the Cup, the AC40 Cup teams. And we're really seeing their pedigree shine now. They look pretty polished.
Have to take it back then. I'm just getting into something here. Okay, in for it. Coming up back again here. He could take the right mark Clay here. Yeah, it's too
On a big slowdown there by the team from Barcelona. A couple of big touchdowns there upwind. That'll wash off a lot of pace for them. So, and do Team Australia. And the team from Yacht Dutch Sail will be really mowing them down quickly if they can't get the boat up to speed again quickly.
No, va bien. Me da igual, aprieta, me buscan la vida.
On board with Sail Team Barcelona. Martin Wisner and Jaime Framis.
Vale, hay 2 en la izquierda, vale, están sacando un poco, iremos al cruce. ¿Quiénes son? No sé, Australia y Holanda, creo.
The Swedes really locking in there, and some really nice accurate boat speed there.
Now nearly in the zone, but not yet.
It's the view from the rear of Andu Team Australia and the Dutch team and the Australian team having a fierce battle here for second and third position.
Today, when we wanted to see if the Swedish can deliver on this promise of being one of the favoured teams in the competition, they are showing exactly why they are one of the favoured 12 to advance into the semi-finals. It's only one race. They finished P3 yesterday. Right now, they're looking at the top set, the maximum 10 points if they can get this job done in race 2.
Might be a sneak in for up to 40 in the drive.
Really nice bear away there from the Swedes. And surely it looks like the Australians, if they can lay into this right turn, will be in second position. So the Aussies on the charge, needing to sail cleanly, need some good points on the board to try and make that top 3 cut to move into the final group. But cannot make a mistake with the Dutch right up their exhaust pipe here.
So it is going to be a tight race in race number 2 for the minor placings if it stays this way. Andu Team Australia through. We believe that there goes Yacht Team Dutch Sail. In comes Sail.
The Swedish
Barcelona
front are off their foils. Stephen have had a wipeout. And it's
not over.
It is all on here. Big go down for the Swedish team. Just have a quick look here at the replay. And the jibe, getting too high and slow. And washing off all their speed. And that is a huge hit the brakes there. Twin vent of both foils. So, and Australia, a wobbly jibe there as well. Can they hang on to it? Really loose there on the Aussie boat.
Sea state getting bigger and bigger.
Right on the edge here.
Harder.
It's going to be time to pull on the big boy pants here and send it.
So on the final lap, we've got a lead change. It all looked comfortable for the Swedish challenge. And one jibe cost them the lead. Now it's Andu Team Australia, followed by Yacht Team Dutch Sail, and then the Swedish challenge. My word. Well, Shirley did say edge of your seat racing. That's exactly what you are getting.
Just keep an eye on the Dutch team. They are sending. They were sending it.
This is AC40 racing at its best. Right on the edge here. The team's absolutely on the edge of control here. Full send, so huge amount of trimming and steering going on here. The Swedish there. It's anyone's race here. These next manoeuvres absolutely critical to get down to the bottom mark. So potentially only one more jibe needed for Andu Team Australia if they can make it through to the boundary there. On board, Yacht Team Dutch Sail just ploughing it through the back of that wave. Full vent on the foil at over 30 knots of boat speed. And another touchdown from the Dutch. So the Australians just needing to keep it together here. They need to execute this jibe and keep the boat foiling. Nice job there. Trav down, keep it fast.
It is so on the edge.
Fantastic job there by the Aussies to get through that jibe. So Cole Tapper and Tom Needham now taking change of helm and trimming duties over Jack Ferguson and Max Paul. So anyone's game still here if they...
Just know these sailors are pushing the AC40s to the limit. Can they execute the final jibe? Andu Team Australia and get the win.
Important jibe here from the Australian team.
Lining up the finish line, Andu Team Australia. There's that saying, if you're not first, you're last. Well, they've gone from last to first. Andu Team Australia get the win in race 2 of Group B and the full 10 points. What a race to start the day.
Wait till it makes.
In comes the Swedish challenge, powered by Artemis Technologies. Looks so comfortable under that jibe from the top mark. But they'll come out with 7 points for the second spot. You think they're breathing heavily? Try it here in the commentary position. My word, how about that for racing? Yacht Team Dutsail had their moments, but they will come through and score first points in this regatta, and vital points too that they need.
Great result there for the Netherlands team, needing to get some runs on the board after not making the start yesterday. So they were really sailing the boat well and had a couple of really, really nice moments there where they were locked in and sailing fast. So they'll be a team to watch in the races to come, Shirley.
A boat full of potential, led by Bartline Brooks, 3 times 49er skiff world champion, and e-sailing world champion. Not much time in the boat, but from looking at this, he's learning quick.
Sail Team Barcelona, after yesterday's first up win, currently sitting in position 4. That will earn them 3 points, and that 10 points yesterday, that could be a game changer as this regatta goes on, but they will need to keep scoring points, and high points, not low points.
Board's already down, so that'll help that manoeuvre for them. And the Barcelona team, Shirley, big job for them, having not really spent much time on board the AC40 before this event. So just having a look at the Canadians here, one of their manoeuvres coming down, again getting high, and absolutely hitting the front brake hard.
Brings back, ouch, memories of the opening day of Group A, doesn't it, when they were just throwing the boats around. And Sail Team Barcelona will finish in 4th position in this second race of Group B in the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. Already got 10 points, but another valuable 3 points added to their total.
Yeah, they'd be disappointed with
This
that.
is the
They've clearly got
umpire's
something not
double
right with the
penalty,
foil count system.
Canada, a boundary penalty.
Vale, voy a ir con alzada, ya no queremos verlo, ¿vale? Yo no le veo nada. Not yet.
So they've struggled with that boundary today, Concord Pacific Race, and that's not the first time they've been pinged for the penalty.
I can't come that low, okay? Like 145, just can't seem to trim anymore.
Canada, we need to see you trying to lose some distance, even though other boats have been.
2, 1, rounding up.
Let's go on board and do Team Australia. Have a chat to Cole Tapper. Congratulations, buddy. I thought yesterday you said it was fun racing. How much more fun was it today?
Penalty complete.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different day out here, clearly. There's all kinds of different action when you have a bit of breeze and the waves up like that. I mean, we're just holding on to it downwind, as you might have seen. It gets pretty loose, but it's a lot of fun.
Cole, it's been a lot of fun in the commentary box as well, watching it. You know, how big is the day? How tricky is it to keep the wheels on?
Well, we're getting slammed around in our seats out here and slapping into waves and doing all sorts, but I mean, the trimmers behind us just gave us a platform where we could actually get around the course, so we couldn't be happier.
Let's go to Jack Ferguson on the other side. Hey, Jack. I mean, it wasn't the greatest day for you yesterday. So getting the 10 points, it's a big shift forward in this competition, isn't it?
We were a little bit on the back foot, and off that start, tried to do a clearing tack and struggled to get going. But yeah, happy with how we clawed back.
In conditions like this, is it just full steam ahead? Put your foot to the floor.
Yeah, these boats are always on the ragged edge, and anytime you lift your foot off the gas pedal, you're going to get bitten. So yeah, we've got to push it pretty hard.
Fun, huh? Lots of fun.
It's the right attitude. Nice one, chaps.
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks, Jack.
Thank you. Cheers.
Let's go on to the Swedish Challenge. Oscar Enström joins us right now. 0 for one bad jibe, but that top back, Oscar, could have been 10 points.
Yeah, a bit tough, but feels like we sailed the boat really well. It's tricky condition out there, good breeze and tricky waves. But we're fast around the course. You're gonna sort out the maneuvers a little better, and we're ready for next race.
Oscar, Glenn here. What do you think the key is to jibing the boats in these conditions?
Big biggest thing is finding a good spot, I think. Try to make it as easy as possible for yourself. But then, yeah, time the speed of the turn with the situation where you're in, but it's definitely not easy.
All right, Oscar, appreciate the time. We'll see you. There's lots of racing to come today.
Yeah, thanks, shit.
So Concord Pacific Racing across the line.
Yeah, 3 boats making not bad attempt at the start. Australia winning the start with just 30 metres back from the line, and it was all on from here into that first boundary. Everybody together. Australia were in a commanding position, weren't they, until that terrible tack.
And the top gate coming around, the Barcelona team again showing a clean set of heels, getting up to the top in really good shape, with the Swedish team and the Dutch team right behind them.
It was never over, was it? But the Swedish team extended on that leg. And for the finish, it was the Australian young rock stars who took the win.
So confirmation of this result in Race 2 Group B of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. It's Andu Team Australia from the Swedish Challenge, Yacht Dutch Sail, Sail Team Barcelona, Concord Pacific Racing, and AC Team Germany. So what does that do to the standings? Well, still just by the points now. Sail Team Barcelona from Andu Team Australia, Artemis' Swedish Challenge in P3. At the cutoff point right now, Concord Pacific Racing, Yayo Team Dutch Sail, and AC Team Germany.
Yeah, well, it was tight racing from the very start. 5 of the teams locked together in a drag race to that boundary. And while Netherlands, Australia and Canada were the first to tack away from what looked set to be a very crowded boundary bounce. I mean, just look at how close Spain pushed it to the edge of the racetrack, tacking within 49 centimetres of the boundary. We're so close to a penalty, but so well judged. And from there, they took that lead into leg 1. When racing is this tight, at this level, you really need that level of precision. Nice work.
Just having a look at some of the data here, and all the top finishers really had sort of similar average speeds above the 28 knot mark, and the Netherlands, they're sort of topping out with the highest average speed. But in the end, I think the manoeuvres were the most sort of interesting things for me, Shirley, and the Australians, they're one of the least amount of manoeuvres and also pulling off some of their boat handling really well and ended up with the race win.
A 2nd and a 5th for Concord Pacific Racing today in this UniCredit Youth America's Cup. And it's been a while since Canada's been involved in the America's Cup, but this squad aboard Concord Pacific Racing's hoping to pave the way for the next generation.
We are super excited to be here. It's been a long time coming and a lot of training's gone into this, and yeah, we just can't wait to get going. It always means a lot to have a Canadian team part of this, and to be part of the America's Cup again in this form is really cool for us.
It's awesome to be able to represent Canada, one of the biggest stages in sport and sailing. Can't really put it into words. It's just such a great opportunity for all of us, so we're super excited.
Been putting super long hours in the sim just in an effort to utilize what we've got as best we can, and it's been incredibly helpful. You know, our first time stepping on the boat was quite a seamless transition because of the long hours that we put in the sim, and you know, things just like having the right instincts and the right muscle memory for when you get on the boat was super helpful. It was quite a smooth transition.
I have Andrew Wood driving for me, and I've known him for a very long time. When I first started sailing 49er, the first regatta I went to out of Nova Scotia where I live, he was there, and we've sailed together a few times, but I think the fact that we knew each other for so long before has really helped, and we have a great relationship now, and we're really good.
We feel very confident with each other, and we can sort of predict what the other's going to do. Then on the other side, we've got Andre Van Dam trimming and Galen Richardson driving. I'm really excited with the team we've got together. Developing our communication has been one of the most important parts about learning how to sail this boat. I think one thing that we did have going for us was that a lot of us had sailed boats where we had needed to use very effective communication, even in Olympic classes and things like that. So it was more of a tweak of how you're using your communication.
My wheel coming up. Not too close.
I think starting is one of the things that is probably going to be the most different from the sim to on the water. So it's something that we just need to have a really clear plan for. Your port helm is really setting you up for that start. But at the end of the day, it really is a team effort, because as much as they're driving the boat and, you know, keeping you fast and keeping you out of the way of others, which is quite a big job, we have on the other side have our tactical screen that we're looking at, and we're judging our time to the line and our time to tack. So it's really, you know, all hands on deck during the start. In our pool initially, I think the clear team that's going to have the big leg up is going to be the Swedes. You know, they've had their 40 out here, they've been training, they've been doing practice starts with all the cup teams. So I think at this point, people that have had a lot of time on the boat are going to be the threats.
All right, I'd like to go through the finish if we can.
One of our biggest goals in this is to obviously do as well as we can, but also, you know, inspire the youth of Canada to get out, get foiling, and get into it. It's a very, very exciting time, and I really hope that this continues for Canada.
They talked a lot about the next generation. There is the next generation out there. Opties, bring back some memories, team.
I never did this, did you? But I bet they're looking over at the AC40s going, why am I in this tiny little box? I want one of them.
I want to go fast. I want to go fast.
I'd probably still fit in one of those and be able to sail around, I reckon. But it's, no, absolutely next generation, and the skills that you learn sailing these sorts of dinghies absolutely go into sailing all the boats in the future. So working out where the wind's coming from, what makes a boat go fast, how to deal with your opponents, all the skills necessary to not only sail high-performance dinghies, but end up racing in the America's Cup or the Olympics in the future.
They've got that young girl in F3s that's showing the lads how to do it. We've got the Women's America's Cup not too far away, brought to you by Pooch. There's a whole lot going on with 2.5 minutes to play to race number 3 in the UniCredit Youth America's Cup Group B.
Really nice breeze coming down now, possibly even some stronger puffs, surely, than we've seen previously, up to 17 knots now. So absolutely fantastic conditions for all these teams to sail in. Going to be some fantastic action shortly.
So this is your #1 team right now by a single point. Sail Team Barcelona could have that 10-point win yesterday. They are 1 point ahead of Andu Team Australia. And Andu Team Australia with that win. And, you know, they remember they came from last position after that opening tack on the upwind leg. And Andu Team Australia sitting in second position points-wise. And of course, there's the Swedish challenge powered by Artemis sitting.
Spain boundary penalty. Spain boundary penalty.
And so it begins. And so it begins again.
Oh, that's harsh. Unforced error before the start.
Yeah, that's a get behind penalty off the start. So the Spanish will have to lose distance relative to the fleet after they cross the start line. Umpire Richard Slater and his team.
This is the race committee. We are delaying the start by 2 minutes.
Looks like the Spanish have an issue. Definitely checking something. Would explain why they're off the bottom of the racetrack. Well, now that there has been a delay, that boundary penalty for the Spanish team will go away, will not apply. So wavy, Glenn. I mean, it's not really the wind speed, is it, that's causing the dramas and the excitement. It's, look at the waves, getting bigger and bigger.
They are a little bit, and I guess at the end of the day, that's something that you can practice in the simulator, but in real world, this is absolutely what you need to do, get some water in the face.
Let's go head to chase 0 with Peter Lester. How rough out there is it, Pete? Is it getting any worse?
I think it's more the frequency of the waves. It's really close together, and every now and again one of them just stands up in front of you. It's really steep, and you know, one of the keys is to pick your moment when you do a tack or a jibe, that you're not doing it into the back of one of these really steep bits. Waiting for the flat spot before you pull off those vital manoeuvres could be crucial.
Back. 1 boundary penalty, Spain.
So they're not having any joy, Sail Team Barcelona. was washed off because of the delay. Now it's back. Another one's back on, so they'll have to get behind at the start. We're 1:46 and counting to the start of race 3.
Nearly all the teams pretty line shy on the last start. I think we'll see a bolder lineup this time.
Yeah, this will be a bit like getting into a Dakar race buggy and sending it through the sand dunes here after spending a year or so on a simulator. It's going to be eyes wide open, hang on and send it sort of stuff, and trust the gear, trust the technology, but also trust your skills and have confidence. And sailing with confidence, surely in these conditions, is what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, only one of these teams has really had any significant hours on a real boat in the waves. So they're learning quickly.
2 boats on the hip.
So there is the Swedish challenge powered by Ardens. Had the lead in the bag, you could have said, at the top gate, and heading on the downward. One poor jibe cost them the win. But they still sit in position 3 points-wise in Group B. A reminder, the top 3 in each group go through the 4-race semi-final session. We're closing out on the start.
2 boats coming in from the left-hand side.
So possibly 2 of the teams looking for a split start and heading over to the right-hand side. So both the Canadians and the Netherlands team having to give way to the starboard tack yachts coming through. So lining up for a start here.
A nice approach by Australia.
A brilliant start there by Andu Team Australia.
And we are racing in race 3, Group B, UniCredit Youth America's Cup.
A glamour of a start from the Australians, only 16 metres off the line. They've practiced that a few times in the simulator.
So we see the 2 teams, the Canadians.
The umpire Spain boundary penalty. We want to lose another 40 metres compared to Germany.
And the Dutch team, they're heading over to the right-hand side of the course. So they were quite a long way behind the starboard tackers. So big distance loss to make up. You can see the distance there that they are behind. But are they going to the favoured side of the course? Time will tell.
30 seconds, 20 to the zone. Copy that.
Spain, you still have 20 metres to go.
It is set up at the zone.
10 seconds to the zone.
We're clear to go anytime. Looking for a spot. Copy.
Lovely comms.
Spain, you have still 30 metres. Second penalty took more than a minute.
2, 1, 4 down. 30.
Penalty clear.
Beautiful tack there by Andu Team Australia. That's a keeper. Big battle down here with the Dutch team and the Swedish. Big duck there by Sweden. And there's going to be some bow-on-bow action coming up here over the next 30 seconds.
On to chase 0, Peter Lester.
Yeah, I like the transfer there on the Australian boat. Cole Tapper over to Jack Ferguson, steering on port. Just in terms of the way they sequence through that tack, just shows how much time they haven't spent a lot of time sailing these boats, but they come from a skiff background, whether it's 18-footers or 49ers. And of course, Cole Tapper's using his boat-on-boat match racing skills, and that really showed, I think, off the line in that first tack.
So currently Andu Team Australia just the 1 point behind Team Barcelona in the points. Stronger start, that will give them a whole heap more confidence as they head to the top gate.
Really nice roll control on Andu Team Australia there. Max Paul, Tom Needham on aero trim, and they are really the throttle men on these boats, so holding the power on and controlling the accuracy of the aero package.
They look really locked in. I mean, the boat's been beautifully smooth all the way up this leg.
And they've had a bad tack there, I think, the Australians, but They have a little bit of a lead, but the rest of the fleet will be mowing them down quickly.
Battle here between the Dutch and the Swedes. Absolute corker.
Oh, a big touchdown there by the Dutch team. Out of that tack, you can see the wash off their boat, and they have had a huge splash down there. So they were in the leading pack, and now will be bringing up the rear in just a matter of seconds.
And just quietly going about their thing is Concord Pacific Racing from Canada, sitting in second position, as we can see, and do Team Australia finish leg number 1 of 4 and will round the top gate for the first time.
Oh, touchdown. They've got it under control though, the Aussies. Nice little catch there, back up into the power zone quickly and getting fired out of the cannon, so they are ripping down there, but the battle is all on behind them.
Piccadilly Circus behind them. In comes the Swedish Challenge, powered by Artemis. Concord Pacific Racing from Canada follows them. Sail Team Barcelona, who picked up from where they had 2 penalties, washed it off, and they're doing okay. In comes ACT Germany in 5th position, and then it will be Yacht Team Dutch Sail.
Sail Team Barcelona having a couple of big touchdowns there, and they'll need to get the flow reattached on their sail plan. Very stalled there. Boat will be very, very tippy and out of balance without getting the correct attachment of flow around the sails. The Dutch team, a really nice rounding as well. They are behind at the moment, but they're pushing hard, and they'll be looking to make up some ground on the boats just in front of them there. Just having a look at the rounding here from the Australians, and really just punching out of the wave there in front. Just a little late on the trim up on the Traveller there, and doing a really nice job, Shirley, of just catching that. Basically, the hull is actually planing there. It's very much skimming over the surface, so just a quick splash and go, back up on the foil again. Nice job.
Good steering, quick reactions.
So it's Andu Team Australia on leg 2 of 4 in this 3rd race of Group B. They're just 1 point behind the points leaders in Sail Team Barcelona. On to chase 0, Peter Lester. Australia looking strong again.
Yeah, good boat handling, good boat control, and what I'm noticing is quite a wide cantangle as they stick it in, and that job. Wow, that was a big one. But they tend to be low flow. Well, a lot of water on board from that one. Just gave them a bouquet, and then they stick it in.
Cockpits will be full there. That is going to be a huge reset, and lead change now. The Swedish coming down absolutely throttle wide open there, as are the Canadians behind. So the Australians going to have to get that cockpit drained quickly and re-establish their foiling, or they will be at the back of the field.
So lead change again on a downward leg. This time it's the Swedish Challenge, powered by Artemis, who've taken the lead from Andu Team Australia, who are in a bit of bother. Going to drain the pool, and away they go again.
Just getting caught in no man's land there. The Aussies really, really tricky to get the boat through that dead downwind when the rig unloads, and not easy there, but the Swedish team doing a brilliant job of executing their manoeuvres well and now taking the lead.
Yeah, and this is what we get from the AC40s in conditions like this. Constant lead changes. Swedish Challenge, powered by Artemis, now back in front of the fleet. Leading from Concord Pacific Racing out of Canada. Just quietly going about their business. Andu Team Australia back up and foiling. Closely being followed by Sail Team Barcelona. So 2 of the 4 legs complete by Canada.
Oh, a big skid there by the Canadians. Nice control, but a big slowdown on that turn. So
in comes Andu Team Australia, and you can see behind them it's Yacht Team Dutch Sail have recovered. Sail Team Barcelona will come in position 5, and ACT Team Germany looks like they've had another moment. Well, that's Spain. They're off their foils.
says the umpires, penalty Spain, relative and penalty clear.
There's a lot going on. I think that was a coming together with the Dutch team.
Australian team there and the Canadian, sorry Stephen, just pulling off those tacks on the boundary. So big race on here for the minor placing. Sweden have a comfortable lead at the moment, but as we've seen, any little wobble and they will get mown down. So the battle is on for the minor placings.
Yeah, every point is so crucial. The top 3 from this round will go into the next round of the Youth America's Cup. So really crucial to protect every point.
It's just as...
3.6, please.
So there are your top 3 positions at this point. It's the Swedish Challenge, powered by Artemis, Concord Pacific Racing from Canada, and Andu Team Australia, who held the lead until that big moment on leg number 2 downwind. So this is the second to last leg of the race. Remember, just 4 legs. And points are critical. What's also critical is not to make a mistake.
A really great battle here between the Canadians and the Australians. This will come down to a boat handling race from here, Shirley.
You can't help but be impressed by these 2 teams. They haven't had a boat to practice on, but they are learning quickly. They're used to sailing fast boats. It is pretty impressive.
This is the race committee. We are moving the finish line, shortening the leg to 1.2 nautical miles.
So ready for my board call, Andrew? Boundaries in 30, so they're getting to it in 10. Let's make sure we're up to speed here.
Let's see what's going on for Andu Team Australia.
On the flat spot, on the band. 2, 1, board down. 2, 1, board up. Back on the way,
Bad tack there by Andu Team Australia, and that will cost them hundreds of metres coming off the foils again. You'll just see the distance that the Canadians pulling off their tack cleanly will put on the Aussies, and it's a big, big slowdown. So boat handling so critical in these tricky conditions. And the Canadians really mowing down the Swedes in front of them. So big job by the Aussies to get back on the foils here again, and they will have Team Barcelona and the Dutch team not far behind them when they get going. So have to keep the foot on the gas here.
It's interesting watching Concord Pacific Racing. It's not as if they're trying to throw the boat and thrash it, but just take it nice and conservatively and say, right, we need points, just take it easy, because we know others are really trying to throw them around.
It's definitely about doing your manoeuvres, Stephen, in the most smooth water you possibly can. So you see the Australian team go through the tack here. Just getting a little heel, slow, so just a little more work to do there on just keeping that platform nice and flat and keeping those foils nice and evenly loaded. So just a bad wave there for the Aussies, but they'll be hoping to hang on and get some points on the board here, but the rest of the fleet breathing down their neck now.
So heading to the top gate for the last time, and it's the Swedish Challenge, powered by Artemis Technologies, who hold the lead. Now remember, they were in this position in the last race. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but they lead the fleet around.
2, 1, I got you. And everything down from it, coming up. He's sinking up. Back on the heel. There you go.
Nice rounding there, Shirley. That's a keeper.
37 is target, and I'm just focusing here there. Yeah, good.
In comes Concord Pacific Racing representing Canada. Nice and smooth, nice and easy from the Canadians. Got the downwind, homeward leg to go.
3, 2, 1, turning. 110, 130, 145. A little up here, a little up. Big up, big up, big up. Gotcha. Okay, you're at setting. A little more main sheet gap.
And a really close bow and bow mark running here. The Dutch possibly just in front of Andu Team Australia here. So Very, very close race for third position.
10 seconds to the mark.
Wow, how about this? Yacht Team Dutch South and Team Australia ripping past each other and getting around that top gate and heading home. Every little moment just on the edge of these magnificent AC40 flying machines. Sail Team Barcelona in position 5, and AC Team Germany are not having the best of days.
The Dutch team there, just under 40 knots of boat speed, absolutely boosting down there. They've had a fantastic rounding there. The Australians on the limiter as well, and going to be a real battle here for third position.
On to chase zero, Peter Lester. You've got to be impressed with this Swedish boat.
Yeah, Sweden look rock solid, and in fact they did in the first one as well, but they had that touchdown. So downwind is actually harder going for the teams in terms of boat handling than upwind. What I'm looking forward to is the end of this for third and fourth. There's a real carrot there for the Netherlands to try and pull off a third over the Aussies.
This will be a big race for the Swedish challengers. Will jump them into the points lead. Consistency is the key. They were third in race 1, second in race 2, and if they can bag them 10 points here, we said you saying that top 3 point scoring, you're going to be well on your way to the semi-finals.
And a beautiful job there by Artemis Swedish Challenge, powered by Artemis Technologies. They will be looking forward to some big points.
So a consistently performed race number 3 in Group B of the UniCredit Youth Americas Cup, and the win will go to the Swedish Challenge powered by Artemis. They bank the full 10 points.
Canadians looking to execute that manoeuvre well, coming in behind them on the way down to the finish, and they are right on the edge. A couple of little touchdowns there. Big drive coming up for the Australian team as well.
Yeah, good idea.
Team Barcelona and the Dutch team right up their rear end.
This is a big result for Concord Pacific Racing. Remember, race 1 they finished in 2nd position, and they were 5th in race number 2. But in race number 3 they bank a valuable 7 points. Concord Pacific Racing from Canada, 2nd spot, well raced.
And the Aussies having another bad jibe out on that right-hand boundary. You're going to have to get the boat up to speed and accelerate to hold off the fast-charging Dutch here.
This will be tight for position 3 and 4. You can see the position change there. Wait for it.
Always a great pace with the Dutch team. And they're across.
And position 3 will go to Yacht Team Dutch Sail. Big points for them. Position 4. Close finish for 4th and 5th, but 4th will go to Andu Team Australia. And position 5 goes to Sail Team Barcelona.
Well, that was certainly a really close finish there. Aussies will be pretty broken about that last jibe. They just had to get that last jibe in and a little touchdown and a bit of a vent. So it just shows how tough these conditions are for all the teams, and really, really exciting racing.
Tell you what, it's going to be hard to pick this, isn't it? A couple of teams starting to show their wares. You know, we've talked a lot about Sweden and Australia, but I'll tell you what, some of these places, it's all over the shop. Leading means nothing in this.
Yeah, we've seen a huge progression actually from the first race. I think it's a lot more controlled, and some of the pace is getting bigger and bigger. I mean, particularly the Dutch team, they look faster all the time.
These conditions really, really tricky, and I think even the full cup teams, you know, sailing in these conditions would be having some loose moments as well. And I think we're seeing these young teams really pushing the boats hard and getting around the track really, really cleanly.
I just wonder whether we heard whispers that four-time Formula 1 champion Sebastian Vettel was in. I wonder if he had a chat to AC Team Germany. Because that would have got me a little bit excited. Well, actually, it did get me a little bit excited, the fact that he was around. But I'm sure it would have been magnificent for the young Germans to have a genuine global rock star to come and visit them and say, hey, what's going on? right now there's not a lot going on with AC Team Germany. They're not having a big day here, and that'll be P6 for the second race in a row. And they will come across the line, and AC Team Germany will be the last to finish in race 3, Group B, UniCredit Youth America's Cup. So let's head to the Swedish Challenge powered by Artemis and have another chat to Oscar Enstrom. Much better race, Oscar. That must feel good.
Yeah, always nice winning races, and yeah, tough start in the race, but we sailed well around the course and ended up first in the finish. So yeah, happy with that.
Were you just a bit nervous on that downward leg, considering what had happened in the opening race of the day?
Now we had a good chat between the races and discussed how do we do the jives in these conditions, and found a solution. So quite confident now with the jives, but I mean, still really tricky, so you need to be onto it all the time.
Well, congratulations, mate. It's good for you. You've gone into the top of the standings. Let's go to Concord Pacific Racing, and Andrew Wood joins us right now. Congratulations. I get the impression you're sailing just nice and conservatively and trying to bank points.
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty tricky out here, pretty wavy, so it's definitely about delivering the boat around the track and doing it as fast as we can.
What are you making of the conditions? I mean, are these bigger conditions that you're used to?
Yeah, I mean, we've never sailed an AC40 in these conditions before, so we're definitely learning as we go, and saw some huge improvements in our settings and things between race 1 and 2, so yeah, really happy with our progress.
Oh, well, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep banking those points. You'll go close, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
So there you go, Concord Pacific Racing. Let's confirm the results. So Concord Pacific Racing, that is the second time they've banked the 7 points for finishing second, but it's a win to the Swedish Challenge powered by Artis, followed by Yacht Team Dutch Sail. They'll be really happy with a result like that. Last race winner, Andu Team Australia 4th, Sail Team Barcelona 5th, and trailing at the field is AC Team Germany. Points-wise, what do we have? A new leader. A substantial 6-point lead too to Artemis Swedish Challenge, but look at that, Concord Pacific Racing now 1 point ahead of Andu Team Australia, so they have swapped positions, and Sail Team Barcelona have dropped into the cutoff zone with Yacht Team Dutch Sail and Team Germany. But you know, one race, as we have seen, can change that ladder in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, well, it was a much closer start than we'd seen before. Beautifully lined up by the Australians, just a few meters off the line, leading the fleet away to that left-hand boundary. And they were doing so well, weren't they, Glenn, until this.
Probably gave them the commentator's curse, saying how well they were going down that first downwind and just filling up the cockpits full of water there and coming off the foils, unfortunately.
And that opened the way for the Swedish team, and when you give them room, they are off. A polished act, calm and collected, and just got better and better as this race went on. And they didn't let go of the lead, did they? Sweden take the win and now sit in first place overall. Pretty impressive.
So having a look at some of the numbers here on board, and Artemis Swedish Challenge, they're clearly a couple of knots faster in the average speed, which I think at the end of the day just gave them such a big distance lead over the rest of their competition. But crucially, you know, really using that speed well, and their boat handling very, very good compared to the rest of the fleet.
Well, when you are doing 25 knots, the race area can feel very small, and even more so when 6 boats are squeezed in together at that top gate. The Netherlands were ducking behind Sweden, keeping clear, but every sailor watching will know this moment, the sting of the boat you are avoiding, tacking right in front of you, exactly where you didn't want them to. And Sweden were tacking just to head to the mark, but this is why they're fighting so hard off the line. If you lose some space, you lose your wind, and as we see here, you can be left floundering.
We are live from Barcelona on day 3 of racing on the UniCredit Youth Americas Cup. And the advantage of being the home team right there comes with its own pressure, but support also brings high expectations. Sail Team Barcelona are determined to make Barcelona proud.
As a Spanish sailor, seeing the cup coming to Spain and so to beautiful Barcelona, it's an honor.
It's really exciting, and yeah, we will try to do our best and make everyone proud in Spain.
It's looking like the Youth Americas Cup is going to be a really competitive competition. All the youth team are preparing themselves as good as they can.
We have been preparing the simulator. That is the most useful tool that we can have. That you can really compare numbers and settings and things with the real boat. So we have put many hours in the simulator. We have always become gamers. Yeah, just trying the communication settings and just different things to try to figure out how the actual boat works without breaking everything in the water. Martin Wisner is my helm. We are on the starboard side of the boat. I've sailed with him since I'm a kid. We are really good friends. For sure, he's really talented. One of the biggest talents I've seen. He has demonstrated along his short sailing career the results that he has, and yeah, that he's really talented and has a great future ahead.
Jaime Fram is the starboard trimmer, so it's going behind me. He's trying to teach me how to steer the boat. He's a really talented guy. We've sailed together since Optimus and for 20 together, fighting together.
Antonio Torrado is the port trimmer, so I work a lot with him to try to find new settings and the most optimal thing for the boat. He just doesn't want to rest. He keeps working and working. Sometimes we have to stop him, but yeah, that's probably his biggest strength, I think.
Konrad Konitzer is the port helm, and he's a really good friend of mine. He's a really talented sailor. He knows the rules really well, and he loves just trying to beat the other boat, so perfect combination.
I think we are clearly the underdogs.
We always dream of being in the America's Cup, so this is a step forward of achieving our goal in the future. Really exciting to be competing in these amazing boats and also in our country, in Spain, and beautiful Barcelona here.
Yes, they start off beautifully with that win in race 1 yesterday, but they've gone 1st, 4th and 5th, but they are still in the hunt. Sail Team at Barcelona, as we bring you the racing today. We've already had 2 cracking races, wins to Andu Team Australia and the Swedish Challenge powered by Artemis Technologies. Next race up, race 4, time to go at 3:20 in the afternoon local time. That's 3:20 local time. There is the team that leads at the moment, and that is well, they've just got it together. We've been waiting for it. Yesterday was tough for everybody, but now they seem to have found their groove, and they lead this Group B at the moment. And right behind them will be the Canadians, because they're just quietly going around doing their theme, and they seem to deserve to be where they are just by keeping it. Well, playing the percentage game. Would that be fair?
I think they have a great attitude, and listening to the onboard, you do get a sense of calmness. Things are going wrong, but they're not getting emotional. They're absolutely got a great attitude, and we're seeing that. They're never giving up,
Yeah.
and that's reflected in the result.
I think too, the fact that he said, Andrew Wood said, well, we haven't been in these sort of conditions in an AC40 before. Nice and easy. Let's not throw it around and cost ourselves points, because it's about points. They are 1 point ahead of the 3rd place team, which is Andu Team Australia. And let's be blunt, Glenn, these Aussie boys just like to throw it around, don't they, mate?
Well, they're certainly holding it on and sailing really well, and been in some fantastic positions, just about turning the corners and keeping the boat airborne, and they'll be absolutely working hard to work out what they need to do to keep the boat on the foils.
Battery changes being done by all the teams right now, and in position 4, just behind and who Team Australia is Sail Team Barcelona. They were buoyed by that magnificent win yesterday. And the crazy thing was, listening to the post-race interviews, and I know Shirley you were there as well, that there might have been not a lot of racing, but they're all like still pumped that they're out there and racing in these boats.
Yeah, who wouldn't be? A $3 million boat, you got the keys to it. The best young sailors of your generation all together on the track. It is great. It's so good.
Pinch yourself moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
As a young sailor coming through. I mean, these boats are absolutely cutting edge technology, and to be able to, as you said, get the keys handed over to one of these machines and be able to get on and steer it around and drive it like you stole it, like we've spoken many a times. It's definitely like getting in a hire car, isn't it, when you're when you're out in the bush? Nothing to see here.
Is that the same
being filmed?
The same hire car that you do at 80 k's and then hit reverse?
No, look, a wonderful opportunity for these young teams, and a lot of support, a lot of family support, clubs, countries, all behind these young groups. So really fantastic opportunity.
Yo Team Dutch South sitting in position 5 at the moment. They've assembled an exceptional squad, skillfully juggling their Olympic campaigns, which are gone, while chasing the dream of America's Cup glory. Every moment counts as they aim to leave a lasting impression on the senior America's Cup teams.
The UniCredit Youth America's Cup is special for me. First of all, because it's the first chance to be racing in these epic boats, the AC40s. And for our team, because it's the first time a Dutch team is racing in any America's Cup event. The AC40, it's a 40-foot yacht, but it's not your average 40-foot yacht. It's a 40-foot flying yacht with huge hydrofoils under it. Everything is powered by electronics, by buttons. You've got a big steering wheel, 2 helms, 2 trimmers. And it goes pretty fast. It goes up to 50 knots, which is around 100 kilometers an hour. Incredible speeds, which you won't usually get to in a normal boat. And we're doing it against the best youth sailors from around the world.
I hope to just gain some experience in these amazing boats, get some experience in the America's Cup scene, and hopefully we can take that to the next step sometime.
You got a build here.
Around a year ago, the final select, or the big selection, was made for our team. From then on, we had a full-time group who were in the sim 5 days a week, just making a lot of hours, and we had the Olympians who were preparing for the Olympics. I think a strength of our team was that the full-time crew was spending a lot of time in the sim, getting a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, and sharing that knowledge with the Olympians when they were back. So I feel like we got a very all-round base. We did a lot of hours together. We get a very strong connection within the team.
I'm the skipper on board, so I just focus on boat speed, and I try to steer the boat as accurately as possible. And then when I sit to leeward, I'm the tactician on board, so asks for quite a wide skill set.
Bart Lembrix, 3-time 49er world champion, amazing sailor. Yeah, he's an amazing sailor. He got his own way of doing things. He can look at everything with a different perspective, and I feel it really helps us with figuring out how to sail this new boat and how to race this new boat, because there's very little past experience that we can learn from. So it's a lot about being creative and finding new ways to do stuff.
During an event like this, with these boats going these speeds, it's incredibly hard to stay composed and calm. Yeah, with my 49 experience, I've got some skills in that, and hopefully we'll deal with this pressure situation as well.
So I'm the port helm on board, and what I bring into the team is, I think, some structure. I'm quite perfectionistic. I feel that's something I bring to the team. And I used to be an Ilka sailor before, which is a small one-person dinghy, and I feel like that, the toughness, mental toughness that came out of that, I bring it to the team, and it makes us all stronger. Then we got Alexander Molyakov. He's a trimmer. He's a tough guy. He doesn't give in so easy, and he really loves his yachting. Elliot Savalon, also a trimmer. He's very precise. I mean, when he's on the trim tabs, he's 100% perfect.
Paul, he's the other helmsman. He's the youngest sailor in our team, so he's 20 years old.
And then we got Bjarne Bauer. He's a helm on the Nacra 17, and he's a trimmer on board our boat. He got a lot of experience in trimming, foiling boats. He's been at the Olympics. He's very young, and it's nice to have his outside perspective after the games about how to sail these foiling crafts. I think when it comes to communication, which would be very important on our boats, it's about really knowing each other and knowing what everyone thinks, what everyone feels, and knowing what they mean with their words. We got very little time in which a lot has to happen. So we utilize the playbook in which we have all the comm set, all the play set. So in one word, everyone kind of knows what needs to happen. And next to that, I feel like it's also a connection you need to have with the guys to exactly know what they mean at what moment. Winning the Youth America's Cup, it would mean the world. And I think it could inspire Dutch sailing.
It would mean a lot to win here, to be honest. It's a big dream for me to be a part of the America's Cup, and this is definitely a step into that direction, so that would mean a lot to me.
Yo-Yo Team Dutch Sail, big names, big reputations, but surely below the cut line.
Yeah, I mean, there are a massive amount of talent on this boat. Bart Lambbrooks is an absolute star now and in the future, and we saw glimpses of that. They looked 5 knots faster on those downwind legs, but struggling in the corners and maybe running out of time. They have to find some form in these next few races or they'll be going home.
Cracking shot of the Sagrada Familia behind you, right with the Arts Hotel, who are friends of ours, putting one of our cameras on them along with the W Hotel. And Shirley, you told me that sculpture just below, is it a sunfish that was here and done for the Barcelona Olympics, correct?
Yeah, we're actually looking at part of the Olympic Village. The marina behind the Dutch boat is the Olympic Marina, and that fish was was part of it 32 years ago. It transformed the city. It now faces the sea, and that whole frontal area is fantastic, isn't it? It is.
Yep,
so iconic.
Ride home past it every night. It really is a great place to be, and we are under 2.5 minutes and counting to race number 4 in the UniCredit Youth America's Cup in Group B, led currently by the Swedish Challenge, powered by Artemis. There is an expected delay. They've had battery changes while we've been chatting away. And now we're just a little bit of a delay. There you go. So we're about 3 minutes away from a start. This is the home team, Sail Team Barcelona, who picked up win number 1 in the opening race yesterday. They just came out of nowhere, and they were absolutely pumped about that. The corners seem to be the issue, Glenn.
Yeah, definitely all about the corners, and as it is in a lot of other motor racing and other sailing sports, it's about executing the corners well, and you're wanting to get good average speeds around the track, and getting good average corner speeds, what it's all about. So bumpy conditions, needing to get the boats around, so getting that foil down, making sure you've got a good attached flow on that new foil. So unloading the sail plan as that foil goes into the water, get the flow attached on it, turn the boat nice and smoothly, hopefully in a flattish bit of water, and actually then get the old board out unloaded is the key.
Peter, conditions ahead of the start. We're about under 2 minutes away.
This is the umpire's Netherlands boundary penalty, Netherlands boundary penalty.
Richard Slater coming there, another unforced error. I think the key, is the sea state. The wind seems to be down a little bit, but the sea state has not changed, and it's very confused. And the thought going through my mind is, we talk a lot about pumping the boundaries, but if you get committed to the boundary line and there's a big sea state running, that's when we're seeing those touchdowns on the edges of the course.
So that's a little jab to the ribs for Yo-Yo Team Dutch Sail. Boundary penalty just before the start. Not what they need.
No, they can't seem to catch a break at the moment. I mean, so much talent and potential on that boat, and just struggling to string it together.
Not sure. 40-hour dipping.
There is your lead team, the Swedish Challenge, powered by Artemis Technologies. So smooth in the last race.
So really important in this last minute to keep the boat on the foils and avoid a big touchdown and a full rebuild. So time on distance now critical for all the teams.
Quite a big bias on the line towards the right-hand side of the screen. Swedish out far to the right-hand side, just being patient, waiting.
And roll down a big one if you want. 1.5,
getting faster.
820, great gap.
So
we're
0.5
deep here, Chris. So we're faster now.
0.7.
Sweden building pace.
They should get a nice opening there at the top end of the line, but possibly a little late.
6, 5,
Rolling up in
4,
3, 2, 1. Trim out.
It's to go in a race of 4 of Group B, UniCredit Youth America's Cup. All the fleets going.
OCS, you have 2 penalties in 50 metres.
No!
Go catch. Okay, look at it here.
Loss of distance there needed by Yacht, Team Dutch Sail. They'll have to put their bow down.
4 down. And turning.
Decided to pull those penalties off in attack, so they've got a bit on here. Possibly a big collision, just avoiding. Wow, that was a really, really big spin there. That was very close to being a collision there.
Well, the closest boat to the line legally was the Canadians, 1.2 metres behind. They're getting the hang of it.
Board up. We have to do 2 and then either way.
Penalties clear.
And do Team Australia getting off the start line beautifully again. Very, very even between the Canadians, the Swedish and the Australians. So decision here for the Aussies, what they do.
Don't look good, don't just contact for
Yeah, guys, this is focused on speed. Yeah, you're all good.
Coming into a big club.
Just having a look at the Dutch team there, just over by half a boat length with a penalty, so a double penalty for them. They've got a bit of work to do, the Dutch team, to get back into this top 3, otherwise they will be cut. But it is the Canadians and the Australians, top right of screen, that are sailing well and currently in control of this race.
I think everyone's just locked in on port here for the next 15 at least.
On board Andrew, Team Australia.
So I am going to stay at this angle, okay?
Yeah, stand by for my board call here.
Can we go behind? We're not laying.
Negative. Canadians are higher, faster.
Coming up slowly.
Great pace of the Canadians. Australia just slipping down.
We're all clear. Racing today, anytime.
Okay. Going at 5. Waiting for the speed. Pressing.
You still got good speed.
Okay, stand by. Forward.
Go. Board, go, board. Okay, all clear. Board up.
Light.
Yeah, we'll get that. Line up.
The dummy there by the Canadians, they'll board down, carry on straight and pull the board out again. So got the Australians to get the tack in, but I don't know if they are laying. If they do lay, they'll be in great shape, but if they don't, they'll have 3 boats behind them to deal with as they try and get through the gate. So
You got the Swedish right under you.
very close race at the top.
It's very tight for that lay line.
So coming into the top gate in race 4, it looks a bit like rush hour out there, but it will be Andu, Team Australia, coming in to lead the pack around. Yayo, Team Dutch Sail, that 6th spot, having to do a lot of work. 1 leg of 4 completed. Australia takes them round, followed closely by the Swedish, the Canadian, Sail Team Barcelona.
Beautiful bear away there by the Swedish.
Spanish around. In comes AC Team Germany. But he's feeling better about themselves this time around. Getting up and sailing hard.
1, coming down. Slow.
Ready to go down.
Okay, pick it.
And in comes Yago, Team Dutch Sail. They are on the cusp. They need big points, and they've got a long way to haul the rest of the fleet in. But we know, one moment at the front, everything can change.
Oh, an event there by Yayo, Team Dutch Sail. That's going to be painful. That's a big rebuild there at the top end of the course, so they're going to lose some further distance there, down to 18 knots of boat speed. now 15, so they've got a big distance to make up.
Let's go on board with Peter Lesser. It's like a drag race between 1 and 2, Peter.
Yeah, and they're probably the two most impressive teams out there, the Swedish and the Australians, evenly matched. They really do look pacey. And they're quick.
Spain penalty relative to Canada.
More penalties on the course, but the first and second to me are the two class acts out here in this fleet.
Absolutely ripping downwind here, both boats. 37, 38 knots of boat speed, right on the edge of grip.
The gap up slightly, be fast. Copy. Anytime. Going in. 2, 1. Holding a bit. Yeah. Going now. Yeah. 2, 1. 4 down. Slow turn. Early invert.
And Team Australia repeat, unfortunately, of that last race. So the Swedish there just blowing straight by. Big rebuild there for the Aussies.
Let's go right. Heading up early here, I think 2 boards.
But you were the coaching, you would have been thinking you would be screaming. I thought you would have learned. So that opens the gate now for the other teams who are following and do Team Australia.
Both teams there holding it through, but the Swedes just doing a better job.
And haven't they just because they lead the team, they lead the fleet around, Glenn.
Two good rounds for Sweden, keeping it safe.
Big gains on this one. Right chip here.
The fast improving boat is Sail Team Barcelona. Top gate sitting in, I think it was 4th position, now in position 2 as they go around that left-hand mark, as you said, and complete 2 legs of 4. And do Team Australia have recovered? Oh, wow. Corners for them, Glenn. And nipping up on the inside is Concord Pacific Racing from Canada. The Germans are around as well. They'll move into position 4.
These manoeuvres really tricky here. The Australians having to dig their way back into this race. They're sailing the boat well in a straight line.
Bottom of the course is definitely bumpier. I think it's quite near the shore. Waves are bouncing off, causing all kinds of havoc.
Not over yet. Yo-Yo Team goes south. Last boat around the bottom mark, and up they go for leg number 3 of 4. Lots of work to do, but look what we've seen.
Look at them, boys. Holding 2.
Yeah, just getting really high there on the foils. Not being able to get the load onto that new foil and just having to unload the sail plan a little more, a little bit of traveller management just to get that new foil into the water and attach flow.
Big day for the trimmers.
Huge day for all the trimmers today. Really tricky conditions, and the autopilot struggling to keep up with what's going on as well. So the Swedes really stretching out.
Of course, used for flight control, not driving the boat.
Coming in here. Target is 27. Over that call.
Germans slipping their way through. A couple of boats there as well, Shirley, so looks like they're learning fast on the job.
Yeah, much more together, aren't they, in this race?
A big pressure coming in. And lefty. Good pressure now.
We continue for a bit and then we tack.
Maybe to go try all the way, Maro.
Yeah, maybe one and then. Can you get a bit of a high mode?
Yeah.
It's quite hard to do one and then.
It looked like flat ahead, so...
Yeah, let's continue here.
This is a big performance by AC Team Germany, considering they were last in the last 2 races, and then Sail Team Barcelona again have snuck through the feet while everybody makes the mistakes and sitting in position 2. Remember, they have a win already on the board, and they've dropped below the cut line, so 7 points could be a monstrous move on the table for the locals.
Been impressed by the Canadians. Just watch this top mark rounding. Each time they come and do that quite hard manoeuvre around the top mark, they just wait their moment. Sometimes it looks like they overlay a little bit, but they just wait till they get a flat spot on the water. And I think overall that is reflecting. They seem to be sailing the belt way within themselves to make sure they just get good solid points over the fleet.
Big moment, leaders Swedish Challenge off the foils.
This is the moment it happened. Going for the tack.
Yeah, just bow there, getting caught up in a wave and then a slower turn. So washing a lot of speed off, getting a lot of aero drag out the back, even further flying the bow up. So really tricky conditions, but they've managed to hang on to the lead here coming into the top. So they'll be looking to hang on down this final downwind.
Good recovery by the points leaders in Group B, the Swedish Challenge powered by Artemis Technologies. One more leg to go, and they're heading towards the finish. Can they bag win number 2 today? Don't count your chickens in this AC40 racing. One moment can cost you. Sail Team Barcelona coming in position 2, followed closely by Concord Pacific Racing out of Canada. They're just quietly banking the points, the Canadians.
Some loose moments there on board the Spanish.
Sail Team Barcelona coming in to round the right-hand mark as you see it, followed by Andu Team Australia and Yayo Team Dutch Sail. Have made up some ground, but they have got a lot of ground to make up if they want to be in a high point scoring position.
I'm sure all these teams will be well aware of the points, but the Australian team and the Spanish boat are on equal points in 3rd position. So currently for the Spanish, this is a critical moment. This is a big race. If they can hold on to this position.
I will. What did that be? 2, 1.
Well, they've managed to get through the jibe cleanly, the Spanish, so really, really nice jibe there. Pressure on the Australians now have also pulled off their jibe, so some big, big moments here on this downwind for all the teams pushing hard. Valuable points on the table.
So clear leader at this point, Swedish Challenge, powered by Artemis Technologies, on course for their 2nd win and a big points lead in Group B. Remember, the other group is Group A, the America's Cup teams, and the big points there, Luno Rossa, Prada Pirelli.
Great pace on the Barcelona boat, over 38 knots.
Yeah, that's ripping downwind in this sea state. Barcelona team just on the edge of control. Fantastic ride there they'll be having.
Good save, they just need to get across the line.
Oh, Canada. Hold on.
And they're off the foils too now, the Canadians. Full rebuild for them as well. They've absolutely done the handbrake turn there.
And in the meantime, 2 in a row for the Swedish Challenge powered by Artemis. Turning into the team to beat in Group B. Bang! 10 more points, folks. We'll take it.
2, 1, roll up. Keep sailing a bit to the left here. Yeah, over that.
But they're all steaming in for the minor positions.
Germany have had a big touchdown, Stephen, to the right-hand side of the screen. So big race on now for that third position.
This could be a game changer here, points-wise for Sail Team Barcelona. They'll pick up 7 points. Remember, they were only just behind Andu Team Australia. Who's going to get there first for position 3? Who's got the advantage? Wait for it. It's either AC Germany or Andu Team Australia. Andu Team Australia coming to the line, and they get the points. But what a race, and what a comeback by AC Team Germany, getting points.
Well, it was a big battle there for that third place finish, so potentially extremely valuable points there for both those top 3 teams. So Dutch coming into the finish here, Stephen.
And Yo-Yo Team Dutch Sail, they will be shaking their heads. They will be looking for answers as to why. Penalties, OCS, boundary penalties start the race and just couldn't haul the fleet in. Concord Pacific Racing are sort of stuck about halfway up the course. They have thrown points away.
They went from a really, really solid position there right at the pointy end of the fleet to having a big touchdown in that jibe, and that has cost them dearly, and they will be bringing it home in last position.
They were sitting in 2nd position coming to this race, the Canadians, and that's again, look, it feels like a much smaller version of the 75s, because we know how they can fly on the edge, but the consequence here is so much greater, particularly with the points loading.
It is, and the pressure of pulling off these manoeuvres absolutely right up there, every tack and jibe, and the Canadians there will be disappointed with dropping so many places and so many points, surely. Not many races to go now to make that cut.
Oscar. Onto the Swedish boat powered by Artemis Technologies. Oscar, congratulations. 2 wins in a row. Big points. Now starting to feel really comfortable, huh?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, feels good. Always nice winning. So, yeah, happy with that.
Yeah, Oscar, what's the key to the tacks and jibes, mate? You've got to fill us in. You guys are doing it really beautifully. You're making it look easy, mate.
I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you that, but I think it's all about, yes, finding the right spot and sending it.
No, nice, mate.
Be confident.
Doing a great job, mate. Keep it up.
Thank you.
So they are now powering themselves to the top of Group B. Let's confirm this 4th race in Group B of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. The Swedish challenge by Artemis Technologies, doing super well. Let's go on board the Sail Team Barcelona, talk to Martin Wisner. Hey Martin, congratulations again. A bit like race 1, you sort of came out of the fleet, just snuck home, but that is a huge amount of points considering we're closing in on that semi-final spot.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, we were struggling with the boat handling in the 1st and 2nd race, but now we are getting confident with the boat, and every hour is goal for us. So just enjoying the day and going for the next one with full power.
It's been a joy to watch. We're having a ball here. Congratulations. Just tell us a little bit about the conditions, particularly at the bottom half of the track. You know, how hard is it, and how much are you relying on the trimmers?
Yeah, the trimmers are doing a great job. It's really pumpy out here. Maybe I don't know how it's from the TV, but here it's really, really pumpy. And in the left side of the race course with the harbor, it's really, really pumpy. So a lot of boat work and a lot of trim of the foils, and trying to keep the boat flying every time.
We can confirm it does look bumpy from where we are too, Martin. So well played.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so Sail Team Barcelona are getting in 2nd position. That'll be huge when we take a look at the points tally, because we are closing in on the semi-finals. Remember, the top 3. So this is the official result. Another win number 2 for the Swedish Challenge ahead of Sail Team Barcelona and Andu Team Australia. Big result though for AC Team Germany. So Start biting your fingernails if you're Concord Pacific Racing and Yacht Team Dutch Sail, because we have got races still to come and you are below the cut-off line. But now a huge 10-point lead for the Artemis Swedish Challenge, followed by Sail Team Barcelona and Andu Team Australia. It's on.
With each start is looking better and better. Look at that. Canada within just over a metre of the start line. By gate one, the Aussies had nailed that ley line, didn't they, and led round the first mark.
And this jibe really costing the Australians there dearly in their race, and just needing to get that foil immersed in the water and attach flow.
The Swedish team ready to take the lead. You can't make mistakes like that. They're ready to come past you. And from there, they weren't letting go. Even with this touchdown, they kept the lead. And they win another race. Good work, Sweden.
Going out the bit, now rolling.
Well, this was the key moment. I mean, take a look at how quickly the positions can change and what a roller coaster of emotions it is for the sailors. Australia on the first downwind leg were in the lead, but their crucial jibe, well, ran away from them. First, very quickly became fourth, and impressively they wrestled control back and reclaimed third, only to fall off the foils once again at the bottom gate and slip into fifth. All this happening within about 2 minutes. It is so tough.
Having a look at some of the numbers here for those that are into their data, and look, a great race for Sweden and a really fantastic way to win. And along with the 10 points for the win, they can claim the best average speed, the best top average VMG, and the lowest distance sailed. No matter how you look at it, that's how you'd like to win a race.
You know, the likes of Andu Team Australia, when we looked at the points before, that consistency is the one thing you need. They've had a fifth, a first, a fourth, and a third. Consistency should get you into the semi-finals. AC Team Germany, they finished with the fourth position, their best result so far, and they're a nation with a ridiculous amount of sailing talent, and the crew that made the cut here, without doubt, doing the most to make this an opportunity that could change the course of their career.
It's incredible to be part of the America's Cup. It has always been a dream since I've been a little child to be part of that, and now to have the chance to represent my country and be in a team for Germany. It's incredible, and I'm very grateful that I have this opportunity.
Hey, boat on leeward coming.
I mean, the AC40 is a great boat. It's super fast, way faster than everything we sailed.
I'm very excited to be racing this boat in front of Barcelona.
Down, 2, 1, turning.
Transition from the Ilka 7 to the AC40 is quite big, because you go from a very slow boat to a very fast boat, from a boat which is sailed by one person to a boat which is sailed by 4. I feel like it's a very good opportunity to evolve as a sailor, but also work in a team and be a good teammate.
What is typical for our team is that we all are super calm on the boat. In stressful situations, this will help a lot.
Maybe you have to watch the boundary.
We've just basically spent a lot of time together, trying to put ourselves in different kind of stressful situations. If it's in the simulator or on the J70 doing some match race drills, that's how we try to get along in the communication and get better and better every day.
Paul Farin is our team leader. He started this whole campaign with Mark Pickle. And yeah, he's done a great job leading us into the right direction. And is also the other helmsman. Very experienced in foiling boats with a lot of titles in the Moth and in the Wasp. Sailed 49er before, so hugely experienced in fast boats. Yeah, I'm very grateful that I can trust him and have a strong helmsman by my side.
Then my co-trimmer on the other side is Jesse Lindstedt, sailing catamarans and Moth. He's just a fast sailor. He can get everything out the boat.
And also in team communication, he's a very detailed guy and expert in optimizing all the different parameters. Tom Heinrich, he sailed 49er for the last years. A very calm guy, very relaxed in high pressure moments. He's performing, very reliable guy.
What makes my position special in the boat is, I think, my Olympic campaigning in the 49er. Yeah, you learn so much, and this is the point where I can bring a lot into this campaign. Then we have Maru Scheel, and she's also coming from the 49er FX, so knows the boat handling pretty well.
Has good ideas on how we can optimize our performance.
To win the UniCredit Youth America's Cup, it definitely takes a lot. Overview of the race course, boat handling, speed of course, and going to be super exciting.
AC Team Germany, who had a bit of a struggle in races 2 and 3 this afternoon, finishing last in both races, but they have certainly got themselves back into the game here with that 4th place finish. So good on them in conditions that's challenging all the boats. 5 minutes to go before we get underway with race number 5. Mother Nature playing ball today, and we are certainly being entertained by these very talented young sailors, all vying for that UniCredit Youth America's Cup trophy. Oh, what a day of racing so far. Just bring me more, please. I want more.
I think you might be lucky, Stephen. We're going to get more. The wind speed has dropped a little bit overall, but as we've seen, that sea state, particularly at the bottom end of the track, is full on.
Let's go to Chase Zero. Pete, let's get your update on the conditions and the sea state and everything else in between. How's the lounge?
Lounge is looking good. I'm very happy. My windscreen's nice and clear at the moment, so I can actually see. Look, it's the jobble and it's the sea state, and it's so irregular, and I think that is one of the reasons the boats are getting caught out, because with it being irregular, you think you're in an even pattern to go into a manoeuvre, and then you're over the handlebars. But I think the blueprint to winning this one, or getting into the top 3, which is so important to move forward, is just being really steady, and the Canadians had been really steady. Commentators curse again, and they touch down. I have been impressed. They haven't been as fast as some of the other boats, but my word, they haven't stubbed their toe too many times.
What would you be saying to Andu Team Australia?
Well, they're fast, and maybe just button it off a little bit on the enthusiasm through the corners, and just keep the boat on its feet and up on those foils.
Thanks, Pete. So there you see on your screen, Andu Team Australia. They are on the edge. They've got to be very careful with this next race. They need to score points to stay in that top 3 position. Otherwise, they're going to slip outside, because them and Concord Pacific Racing could just be fighting for that 3rd spot. Remember, the top 3 in each group go through to the semi-finals. Just a little bit of a delay again on the start, so it's now just under 5 minutes here. So this is where it stacks up after 4 races. So the 2 wins to Artemis, 32 points. So looking very, very good to go through the semis, followed closely by Sail Team Barcelona. The key to all of these, the top 3, consistency. Look at Sail Team Barcelona, 1st, 4th, 5th, 2nd, and then Andu Team Australia, 5, 1, 4, and 3. Now, Concord Pacific Racing, if they had been able to hang on to that 2nd position, would probably be in front, because it's a coulda, woulda, shoulda situation, but they look solid until that last drive went all wrong. So they're only 3 points behind, and the way the scoring is done here, it can change things just like that. There are the Canadians. I'm going to say it. Sailing conservatively and smartly to bank the points.
Yeah, they've not had long on the boat, but really have impressed with their adaptability and cool heads. Driving, we have Andrew Wood and Georgia Lewin-Lafrance. And in charge of pace, it's trimmers Jack Gogan and Andre van Dam.
Yeah, the locals here in Barcelona. Driving this AC40 is Conrad Konitzer and Martin Visner. And on sail trim is Antonio Tirado and Jaime Framis.
The Australian team have been impressive. They've definitely been look at me. They are skippered by match racing rockstar Cole Tapper, and he's surrounded by a team who knows how to go fast. Offside helm is Jack Ferguson, trimmers Max Paul and Tom Nieder.
And Team Germany, led by women's skiff legend Maru Schiel. She's joined on the wheels by Paul Farine, and the aero trimmers Jesse Lindstedt and Tom Henrik. They'll be looking for a good race this afternoon.
Swedish team are polished. I mean, the favourites amongst this group, and they have really shone. The skipper is Engström and his offside partner Linkvist, and experienced trimmers of Olnebeck and Christensen.
And the Dutch team here of Yayo, Team Dutch Sail, they're needing to get some points on the board here to stay alive, and Paul Hartmann and Bart Lembrix will be looking to really get the boat fired up here with Elliot Savlon and Bjarne Bauer.
So we are just waiting for a start in race number 5. This is Group B of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. So there's the countdown timer at 3 minutes and 11. We talked about all the support. Both Shirley and I bumped into the parents of Port Trimmer for Sweden, Hugo Christensen. And you're a sailing mum too, aren't you, Shirley? It was funny, I was talking to the mum today. She said, I'm not so sure about these tough conditions. I just want Hugo to come home safe.
Oh, I'm not like that, Stephen. Just send them out. They'll be fine. Very loose parenting in my house. But I would say, you know, my son is a young sailor. He's looking at this thinking, I want a bit of that action. It looks so cool.
Yeah, mum's going to let him off the leash if that happens, right? Yep, off you go, son. All right, 2.5 minutes to go, race 5. Sweden are the leading team in points. Clear leaders by 10 points from Sail Team Barcelona. Hooked in behind them are Andu Team Australia. And just below the cut line by 3 points are Concord Pacific Racing. So this could be a regatta-defining race.
Oh, the Dutch still out of bounds there, so not sure what's happening there with the Dutch team, but they've obviously got an issue on board for whatever reason, and they will be in big trouble to make this race here at the moment, Shirley.
The Dutch have been instructed actually not to take part in the race, so they will get some points. They obviously have a problem with the boat.
Okay, so it's going to be a 5-boat race. So they'll pick up, if my memory serves me correct, sort of the average points, won't they, Shirley? So that sits at around, because they've been instructed, it sits around, my understanding is 4 points. They'll get points, but it's not going to be enough.
It's a disaster for the Dutch team. They really needed a good race.
So it's race 5, Group B. 90 seconds to go before a start. One of the big guns is out.
Below. Gunberger. 1 man by. 15 knots in. 2. Turning. 1. Turning. Hold. 4. 2, 7 to 5 under.
All of them much more confident at starting than at the beginning of the day.
Rolling down a little bit more. How do you like the pressure?
All the teams
just at boat end.
vertical learning curve at the moment.
200 to boundary. 150 to boundary.
Still looks boat end biased, the right-hand side of the start line. Expect them to be fighting for that.
Pressing. 11 to kill. They're going behind us. We'll be rolling up here. Killing slow. 11 to kill.
Swedish Artemis Racing.
Rolling up here.
Great position there.
7 to kill. 30 to go. Your catch.
Canada needing a good race. Just out of the top 3.
5 to kill. 5 to kill. Killing slow.
Expect the Australians to be tacking in the next couple of seconds there as well. On a slow tack there.
4 to kill. Killing slow. 4 to kill.
Lovely control by Sweden. Push the Canadians away.
lock it in.
Let's go again. Race 5, Group B, UniCredit Youth America's Cup. Good starts once again by Andu Team Australia and the Swedish Challenge powered by Artemis.
Spain made the best start, 10 metres back, and a great start by our leaders, Sweden.
The Canadians, unfortunately, off the foils there pre-start, so they'll have a bit of work to do to dig their way back into this.
45 to zone. Over that, keep. And softer here, Oscar.
Big push to the left-hand boundary.
2-1, puff off. First boat in the zone, but no issue. Hope we will have a clear attack from no slow FB. Pressing my board. Yeah. 26 is your target. They're gonna be fast here. Yeah, I have to get fast. I copy. And on again. Yeah. Your board. Yeah.
Spanish team getting out early.
Yep, stand by. Rip the board, Virgo. 5, 1, board down. Big gas on entry. There. Big gas on entry. 2, 1. We'll clear any mode. Don't lower. Under that.
Swedish tacking underneath
Big
there
gas there, boys.
of Andu Team Australia, so really even race here for the top 3 positions here, so all about locking the boat in here and sailing accurately on the way to the top of the course to maintain an advantage over your opponents if you can.
Pete Lester, Chase Area get the feeling that they all know there's big points on the line here as we start to run out of races in the round robin.
Yeah, it's starting to shuffle out now. What the tactic the Swedish team are using, which is interesting pre-start, is to go wide right and then just wait for about 35 seconds to go and then pull the trigger. The Australians coming to leeward of them and then get to the boundary, and they're assuming there's going to be a lane to come back on port, and that's how that one played out, and that's why the Aussies at the moment have the lead.
How good does this look? 4 boats lined up. That's what we're talking about. If you're a Canadian fan wondering what's been going on, Canada has now started. As you can see, Anna are on the racetrack. They had a problem inverting their mast, so it took them a while to get going.
The Australian team here having to nail this next lay line into the top mark, so they'll be eyeing up where they need to tack there, looking to execute well from here. They'll have a solid lead if they can keep the boat on the foils.
It all feels familiar, doesn't it? Last 2 races, I think it was. In fact, on that top mark for the first time, Andu Team Australia leading the rest of the boats through the top gate, but this battle between them and Sweden well underway now.
Performance here, boys.
Australians sailing beautifully in a straight line.
15 seconds. Copy.
So into the top gate for the first time and first of 4 legs. Feels like a rinse and repeat, doesn't it? Andu Team Australia around the top gate first. Following them through will be the Swedish Challenge, powered by Artemis Technologies, the points leader in Group B. Sail Team Barcelona not too far behind at the opposite mark. They will be playing follow the leader behind them because it's AC Team Germany showing huge improvement from earlier in the day.
Top 3 boats around the top mark are the top 3 in the standing. So if you're trying to break into that top 3, you've got to get going.
Australian team there executing their jibe well, back up to speed. Pressure on all these teams to do well. The Swedish, beautiful jibe as well. So all eyes now on the Spanish and Germans.
And just a reminder, if you're a fan of Yacht Team Dutch Sail, they were advised not to start this race. They will get points, but they are in big trouble in Group B.
Quite a drop in pressure than we've seen in the other races. All looks quite a lot more manageable than the earlier races.
Board with the Spanish team here.
Eso es, en principio una más y bajando izquierda, ¿vale?
So this second leg, the downwind leg, and it's the Swedes are trying to track down the Aussies. The Aussies haven't done anything wrong at this point.
Stephen, I'm going to punch you in the head if you give this the commentator's curse.
Okie dokie.
No.
Message received. Understood.
Really, really easy to... we've done that twice now, saying they're going well. The Swedes will be absolutely putting them in the crosshairs.
Important jibe, this.
I'm just moving 5 feet away. Oh my goodness, they've done it again. And do Team Australia open the door for the Swedish challenge.
And they've just sailed right on by the Swedish, just keeping it low and level there.
Let's just remind ourselves, of course, they're in a race for this third position, right? And Concord Pacific Racing from Canada, well,
they're just keeping the Traveller too high there, way too close to centre line there, and just not allowing that new foil to pierce the water and get hooked up. And when it does go in, that basically is fully ventilated, so you've got absolutely no grip. So the Aussies there be having to sail well here to try and reel in that Swedish team.
Oh, the Swedish team back in the lead. Feels familiar for them, but the encouraging thing is and do Team Australia are back up and falling and sitting in position 2, just to try to get themselves around this bottom gate to head up for leg number 3.
5 off the turn up.
And that's good because there's no blood flowing in the commentary position.
Australia just need a top 3 finish. They don't need to go for the win. It's just all about promotion to the next round. Keep it simple, keep it smooth.
Sail Team Barcelona doing exactly that, surely. They are sitting in that top 3 position as well.
Touchdown. This will be a full rebuild if they're not careful. For the Spanish here, they need to put the bow down and ease those sails, get the windward heel, put the bow down and get popped again as quickly as they can. Otherwise, they will get mown down by the Germans. Really important to get these re-catches and backfoiling quickly. So it's a big gear change, big ease of all the gear. A big retrim and they're backfoiling again now.
AC Team Germany coming around to complete leg 2 of 4.
Coming up in 2.
Taking it nice and easy. 4th position in the last race. Good points for Maru Shiel and her team.
Pressing nose a touch.
High nose. Okay.
Hey. Speed model. We go all the way, guys. Here.
Australians and Swedes there. Good gains back to the Aussie team on that right-hand side.
Heading hard here. Hit right in. Quite slow. Returns down, pressing more. And speed's coming in. On target again.
Pete.
Copy. Good gains on this right.
Yeah, a bit of a change out here, that all of a sudden the wind has cranked a solid 20 degrees to the right. And that's why the Australians have got a piece and got right back into Sweden after that touchdown on leg 2.
Okay, grip now or no to building angle here. And got you. Good brace all the way. And 27 is target. Over that, with it. Turn and trim out. Left gate very favored. Okay, just before us here on target.
Possibly down range on jet here.
And do Team Australia have done a massive job on this upward leg to get back into the P1, and this is the penultimate leg.
They have great pace. I mean, how impressed are you, Glenn?
I'm just going to say nothing from here and just lean back on my chair. I'm going to watch this play out. So, no, the Aussie team getting the boat around the track well in a straight line, but they really need to unload the aero package, get that foil immersed in the water in the jibes, and be able to get the boat through cleanly. So straight line sailing, they are absolutely dialed in and doing a beautiful job. coming up against the Swedish who have spent a lot of time on these boats, so great that they're up with these guys.
Big wave here.
Keep it smooth, lads.
Press 5. Keep pressing. Be behind.
Happy days, but look at the centre section.
Just a little dip here for the Australians.
ASAP. Yep. 2 wide. Coming up. Coming up. 4 down.
And in theory, the Australian team should lead through this gate.
Okay, step 15 off the turn left. Copy that. 8 tack to 5.
Good battle for first in this 5th race of Group B in the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. One more leg to go. It's the homebound leg. Downwind. Big points required here by Australia to almost close out that 3rd spot.
Keep it safe, guys. 20 seconds. Nice pressure here.
This will be a great battle on this final downwind for both these two teams. Pushing hard. 36, 37 knots of boat speed.
If they go early, 35,
Magnificent shot of them following each other and the amount of speed they're getting. Look at this, just ripping downwind.
Okay, jibing in 3, 2, 1. We're down. They're matching my will on and angle. And 1, hold up. They match the job out. Putting in this burger.
And breathe for all of us and everybody watching.
Just keep it hot. Wave here, wave.
South Team Barcelona are around at the top gate. Following close, it's been a good race too for AC Team Germany. Concord Pacific Racing still not out of it, but a little bit of work to do.
Not giving it the commentator's curse again. The Australian team, but Team Germany.
Copy. I need to go down.
So there's been a lead change, another lead change. Here's what happened.
No clear of the jibe there and just accelerating the Australians. And a big vent. Quite loaded on the sail plan there, quite slow exiting that jibe. Sailing back into the power zone there, full thrust in the rig. Making that little foil work hard.
But most importantly, they got out, they recovered well. They're still in position 2.
Pressure on the Swedish team now to execute this last manoeuvre before the finish.
A bit downrange here on Jim, so keep it powered up.
2, 1, rolling down. Hit down to angle.
Getting 33. Coming you down.
Swedish pulling off their manoeuvre. Australians needing to sail this cleanly now.
Nice. Delaying currently.
Copy. It looks quite stable there.
35 or 34.
35.
Copy.
So how about this? Back and forth between Andu Team Australia and the Swedish Challenge powered by Artemis Racing, but they are on track to do 3 in a row.
Up to target 34.
The Swedish Challenge.
Okay, rolling down to 10.
I see waves here. 2, 1 now.
They've done it again. That's a 3 from the last 3 for the Swedish Challenge powered by Artemis Racing. Another 10 points, and they will be followed home by Andu Team Australia. They had their moments, and they had plenty of moments, but they still pick up the 7 points. That might just be enough to keep them in that top 3.
Very valuable 7 points there for Andu Team Australia. Fighting it out for the race lead, but 7 points in the 2nd place, that's a keeper. And the Spanish there coming off the foils in their jibe as well. Probably still got enough of a lead over the fast-charging German team behind, but running the 2-board down program.
Get home, bank the points. That's what that's about.
Yeah, it's a full survival off just to get the boat through the finish line there, but the Germans full gas. The Spanish team needing to keep the boat in in the air here, right on the edge.
Hang on, we're not on the first line yet for Sail Team Barcelona. Seriously close. And they go down the safe route, and it'll be more points for Sail Team Barcelona. Third spot, 5 points, looking good.
They're happy.
The relief on the Spanish there of just getting that AC40 across the finish line. Very evident.
And it's congratulations to AC Team Germany, because in the last 2 races, they've just their improvements gone through the roof. And that's another 4th position for AC Team Germany.
Going below that Spanish.
Not the best day, guys, but we're getting better and better.
And what will this mean for Concord Pacific Racing? They've been in the hunt, and this result, how much is it going to hurt them going into the final races of this Group B regatta before the semi-finals?
It's like a group of 4 sitting in a bathtub going down a ski field full of moguls, isn't it? They are in control.
Concord Pacific Racing come home in 5th position and pick up the 2 points. Just remember, of course, Yacht Team Dutch Sail, who did not take part in this race, were advised not to race. They will score points as well. We'll update that shortly. On board the Swedish Challenge powered by Artemis Racing. It appears, Oscar Engström, you and your team are getting more and more comfortable every time you get out onto the waters here in Barcelona.
Yeah, we love it here. No, it's good fun sailing, a bit tricky with the waves, but I mean, it's always fun making good races.
Oscar, what's for lunch?
I don't know, actually, coaches throw this to me. Some type of bar. That's good.
Oscar, I mean, we've seen a fantastic battle with you and the Australians. You know, how much fun is that? How close is it?
Yeah, they did a good second upwind, catching up a lot. So we had a tight last bit of the race, so that's really fun. That's what we're here for, tight racing.
All right, appreciate the time, Oscar. We're going to jump across to Andu Team Australia, have a chat to Cole Tapper. Cole, what is with corners at the moment today?
Yeah, well, we've been doing a lot of good things, but we're still figuring out these jibes, as I'm sure you can see. We've had a few sticky ones, but we're getting a better handle on it and the conditions, and hopefully we can put it together for the last race.
Cole, you'll have to tell us what's the reality versus the simulator like, mate, out there at the moment.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't quite compare when we're popping on port just before, and Tom and I literally got slapped with a wall of water, and I think my goggles would need to get surgically removed from my face, probably.
Nice work, mate. No, keep hanging in there, mate. You guys are doing a great job.
Cheers. Thank you.
You're king of match racing, slow boats, everything happening at a slow pace. How does this comparing?
Yeah, everyone in the team bullies me that I have no idea about fast boats. And probably today it showed that sometimes I don't, but we're getting better each time, so still learning together.
Okay, thanks, Cole. See you in the next race, mate.
Cheers.
All right, let's confirm race number 5 in Group B of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. And it's 3 wins in a row now for the Swedish Challenge powered by Artemis, followed again by Andu Team Australia and Sail Team Barcelona. Another 4th position for Team Germany, followed by Concord Pacific Racing, and it was a did not start, advised not to start by Yacht Team Dutch Sail. Points-wise now, we're nearing sort of the end of this regatta for Group B, and remember the top 3 have got to will go through to the semi-finals. So let's have a look at it. Wow, okay, so now we're seeing a clear, well, that's clear. Artemis will advance, Andu Team Australia and Sail Team Barcelona. But let's just throw something into that. If Concord Racing could manage a win, oh, gee, what would we see? But there you go. There's your top 3. There's your cutoff.
Yeah, the best start we have seen. The Spanish team within a metre of the start line. And the Swedish also making a great start. By gate 1, we're getting used to seeing them go around the top in the lead. It was the Australian team. Great pace, just struggling in the corners.
This jibe surely really was the race lead change to the Swedish, and bang, and that's exactly why Kyle Tapper said his goggles got pressed into his head. That's why you wear them. But the Swedish sailing well, but Australia digging into that big right-hand shift early and getting back into the race.
Yeah, good pace, upwind Australia. Just messy, messy, messy in the corners.
He's setting up front jibe.
And Australia left the door open, and then the Swedish team took another victory. Beautifully sailed. Right, this is the key moment. The impact, the sea state has been building throughout the day, and it's really putting pressure on the jibes. We can all see that. And the first downwind leg, Australia leading Sweden in a drag race, but lost a 180-metre lead after crashing down on the turn. And on the other side of the course, Germany fighting back for third, and their jibe lost them 170 metres. Jibing in these waves is a massive factor in these races, and I'm sure they'll all be going home to watch this broadcast and learn how to do it better.
Just having a look at some of the stats here, and full credit to Sweden again for keeping their average speed at almost 30 knots. And in this sea state, we saw plenty of crashes, and Sweden was certainly setting a high standard in terms of control, and it really shows here. They kept the manoeuvre count low too, and only 9 to get around the track, and it all adds up to a solid performance. So really, they're the team setting the bar at the moment.
Will be. The city of Barcelona, wherever you turn, there is history on your doorstep as we get ready for the 5th race of the day. That's right, the 5th race of the day, race number 6 in Group B of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. 2.5 minutes to count down. Now, what's going to go on with Yacht Team Dutch Sail? Here's hoping they can get going. Want to see these young Dutch sailors do their thing, because we know they are quick, but I think quite openly, time might have run out on them to make the semi-finals.
Yeah, after today, 3 teams going home. There's a lot at stake.
So fortunate we've got some absolutely beautiful conditions at the moment, and really showcasing, you know, what these AC40s can do, and, you know, an average speed around the track of over 30 knots in these conditions on a 40-footer is pretty cool. And certainly these teams not scared in holding the foot on the gas.
140 to go, 250 under.
They are aware that Spain might have some problems now.
What's the course square for? 95. Estamos al límite del boundary. Caeme un poco el enfoque.
Okay, so let's we've got about a minute and a half to go. Peter Lester, thoughts on this one?
Oh, big moment for the Australians. Massive down the hatch there. Oh, that's a monster nosedive in that manoeuvre. They're going to have to try and empty their cockpits. They've got a minute to do it and restart the boat here. That was a massive, massive moment there, nearly straight over the front there.
Just over a minute to go.
I think we must win here.
They'll have lost all their gear and instrumentation there, so big moment for the Australians here. The other teams lining up for a start, so big job to do here, the Aussies.
That's all good. Question? Yeah, very good. Gonna get going here. Yeah.
Germany, the Netherlands heading back.
Gonna be a pump through the line racing.
Good call on the Aussie boat to get across the line. They have 3 minutes to do it.
Minutes open. Okay, we komen hier zo voor een high kill. Ja, coming up here. Copy that. En dan gaan we in. Okay, een hold angle here. Need to kill midline. 26. If
Massive speed build from the Swedish team out to the right of the course. The Canadians coming in, they'll have to tack to get through the line. Germany and the Dutch team looking pretty good, but Team Australia having to drain that cockpit. That'll be a ton of water in there. They'll have to exit before they get going. They will very much be behind off this start.
We will have a start in race 6, Group B of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup, but one of the hot teams is out for the moment.
It is 26. Gonna get something from the right here as well. Going strong.
Apparently the Australians were doing something like 33 knots when that happened.
And 3 over still, Oscar.
Yeah. That cockpit will be still chockers full of water.
And we're gonna reach a good pressure here in 5.
This is an absolute big one. Rubber out of the water there. Bang.
Whoa.
And gone. And that is a massive, massive stop. 33 knots to stop in about half a boat length.
That is a car crash. The sailors very well protected.
Yeah, the old goggle peeler. That'll get you. But they will be struggling to get round the racetrack in this race. But the Swedish team off the line well and sailing nicely, as are the Dutch, who need to have a couple of good races here.
Let's go and get down to Peter Lester. Peter.
That was exciting, and you could just see, you know, a moment's lapse of concentration, and whammo, the whole game changes yet again. But what doesn't change is the Swedish team, and they're probably not quite as fast, in my opinion, as the Australians in a straight line, but my word, their manoeuvres and their course awareness and management of the course and the opposition, in terms of the invited teams, they are the gold standard.
Well, we've had it all today, haven't we?
Certainly have.
The Australians have started, so if they do have to retire, they will get some points.
95 degrees. First updated.
Some great racing here, though, with the top 4 teams. The Canadians not far out of the top 3 positions here, so...
The Australians are up and foiling. They have no wind gear, so they're absolutely sailing blind, but determined to get the points.
Well, so from our statistical people, Canada would actually need to win to finish ahead of Australia. So if Australia have started, they do. If they need to retire, they'll get a point. But so it's really on the Canadians here.
Well, as we've seen, anything can happen, but the Swedish team sailing very cleanly at the moment, so that's how you attack an AC40 in bumpy water.
Like it's on rails. They're making it look easy, the Swedish team.
And in the background, you can see Sail Team Barcelona underway as well. So the full fleet is sailing in race 6, Group B, UniCredit Youth America's Cup on the waters of Barcelona.
Got the mark. Bullet here, 2-1. Trim to this angle. Way over target here. No lower than this. Eating out here, coming in hot. 20 away.
So for the first time in a number of races, it will be the Swedish Challenge leading the rest of the teams around at the top gate for the first time, completing leg 1 of 4. They will be followed in by Yacht Team Dutch Sail. Concord Pacific Racing from Canada are coming in. They will get through as well. They'll take an opposing mark, and just behind them will be AC Team Germany.
Okay, want to get speed up?
You're clear.
Okay, we're bearing away now.
In fact, AC Team Germany have taken the lead on that Mark Rounding.
110.
120. 130. You've just got that one boat at 11 o'clock.
Copy. They're going to have right of way.
Copy.
Should we go early? I'm fine.
I think we're crossing.
Yep.
Sitting. Yep.
Steering is Georgia Lewin of
You're all good
France.
for main sheet.
Big wave.
Way off their main sheet targets there, Concord Pacific Racing, so Traveller up round their ears. Boats will be exactly
How far?
right, but it's a little slow. That'll be the reason.
It's a big letdown, eh?
Meanwhile, at the front of the fleet, it is the Swedish Challenge powered by Artemis Technology just racing away at this point in the race.
Battery at 13, we got to go.
Truly the now formed team of this group.
Good mode here.
A little bit low here. Ley line much safer now.
More build before the dive here.
Yeah, pressing.
Good catch.
18 away. I push it slight. Boundary 20, so.
3 slow here.
Coming up. Next spot. Yeah, stand by.
Great comms,
3, 2,
Swedish
1,
team.
we're down. Okay, grid. 2, 1, we're up. And rolling down one next. And I got you, you're good. 2, 1, and we're up.
Lovely and smooth, patient turns.
We're not that fast here, Oscar. Probably not sure about lay yet. Okay, good. Can always go left. Yeah. Probably not having lay. 34 is your target here. And on target.
They're coached by America's Cup winner Carl Langford from Australia.
Yeah, let's go left. Yeah.
Done a good
and
job.
Just push low though, as long as you got speed. On target. Coming low. Slower. Here we go. And no slower. 15 today. Up in building before jab. Definitely wavy down here. Yeah. Give it a bit fast.
Yeah, this is the danger zone, the bottom of the track, really wavy.
Stand by. Hold it a bit.
This is the best race we've seen Yayo Team Dutch Sail competing thus far, so big stall on the head of the jib there. The Dutch team, so all the teams needing to accurately trim the sail package on these AC40s.
3, 2, 1, turning up.
And rounding.
And Swedish Challenge around the gate, finished 2 legs, head on up, leading the fleet. All calm on board. The Swedish Challenge powered by Artemis Technologies.
Big one on the right in 20.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shortening the course to 1 nautical mile.
As we see, Yayo Team Dutch Sail, it might just be a case of what might have been. When you go back and look at the early races in this series, race 2 they finished 3rd, race 3 they finished 3rd. They didn't get involved in race 1, and of course, as we saw these other 2 races, they finished 5th in race 4, and that loss of not being able to race in the last race really cost them. But they get around to complete 2 legs of 4. Here comes Concord Pacific Racing. If they want to save themselves, they actually have to win the race.
Really slow, canting under.
Yayo Team Dutch Sail haven't had a huge amount of time in these boats, Shirley, and it just shows
80 true.
that time on the boat is worth something. As we see the Swedish team extending away, but the Australians digging their way back into this race, so
Good pressure on the nose.
they'll be waiting for a little mistake from anyone in front of them to try and get back into get another point or 2. On board there with Cole Tapper and Tom Needham getting ragdolled in the leeward cockpit there.
And do Team Australia. After that big stuff before the start, moved themselves into 4th position. Come back to stay in the top 3, as well and truly alive.
27, 2, and waves here. 2, 8:30 stone. And still target here.
If you're Canada, you are hoping someone's going to make a mistake, and particularly Sweden, which could be a big ask. They've been absolutely on point and flawless all day.
Only one wobble away though from a big endo, and the Swedish team, I'm sure, have certainly been in that situation before learning to sail these boats. They've spent the most time on the water, and they would have had their wobbles as well. They'll be hoping not to have any more themselves.
Let's go to Chase Zero, Peter Lester. Just quickly, changing weather conditions, Peter?
Taking right gate down. Yeah,
No, it hasn't changed too much. It's the sea state's all about the sea state. Ian Murray, the race officer, has just shortened the course up a little bit, so that means that the Swedish team now have only got one tacking into that top mark. And, you know, what's stepped them apart from everyone else is it's just how rock solid they are. Not only course management, especially handling the sea state with manoeuvres.
Thanks, Peters. The Swedish Challenge, powered by Artemis Technologies, once again showing the way for the rest of this Group B fleet. And they have one more league to go to produce a dominant Saturday.
And that was a really rip it away, bear away. Really, really nicely done there. Straight down the course. Very, very confident manoeuvre there.
Sail Team Barcelona were going well, but they've had a moment.
Your side or my side? My side. Feels like I'm flying out. Oh, yeah, no, see you, David.
Well, this is what happened to Spain. Let's have a look. Looks good for a while. So crucial to get the timing right on those waves.
Yacht Team Dutch Sail in position 2. They get around the top mark. They're on the homeward leg.
Ja, zo één bakboordboot. Als we een snelle motor hebben, gaat het goed, denk ik.
Concord Pacific Racing from Canada coming in position 3. They will be ruining. They will be ruining that 6th position back in race 4 when they were sitting in position 2, and with maybe a quarter of the course to go, they were lining up the finish line. And the drive went to Custon. Boy, getting it around, taking it easy.
Turning down in 3, 2, 1, turning.
Concord Pacific Racing are on the homeward leg.
Oh, big moment there. That was Maxie's on the Trav, and I heard Max, and I'm like, here we go. And that was nearly an absolute down the gurgler moment for them, but they managed to survive. They'll need to get the boat back on the foils again, though. Because the Australians are not far off this top gate, so big speed build here for the Canadians to get back in the race.
Well, again, Concord Pacific Racing will have handed another team more vital points. That team will be Andu Team Australia. They are around the gate, as you can see on the right-hand side of your screen.
Sweegs lined up for the finish line here, coming down in good shape.
So, to finish off a Saturday of racing, in race number 6 of Group B, they are the form horse in the field. The Swedish Challenge, powered by Artemis Technologies, will make it 4. That's right, 4 race wins in a row.
2, 1, 4 down. Keeping 2 more. And angle, keeping 2.
Well, I say practice makes perfect, and these guys have certainly had a near perfect day. Fantastic boat handling from Artemis Racing,
51.
powered by Artemis Technologies. As the Dutch team come down here, really learning quickly here, the Dutch. Some fantastic boat speed, Shirley, and really getting locked in and showing what they can do here.
You have boundary penalty, double boundary penalty.
In the meantime, it's the Smiles, and there'll be a big sigh of relief to get across the line. But Yacht Team Dutch Sail banks 7 points. But is it enough?
Down.
Canada.
Nice 1 point. All right.
And probably the news of the day is that the Australian team have actually dug their way back after that huge stuff before the start, and have actually managed to chip their way back into 3rd position. So one more manoeuvre needed for them to get through the finish line, to actually finish on the podium after that huge moment pre-start.
Yeah, with no wind gear, you can see it missing off the bow. See to the pan sailing.
Holding, yep. Holding, turning. Holding 2 out of this. Hold up and turn.
Jack Ferguson, no goggles. Tough old day there on the old eyeballs.
Dip would be good there, Cole.
Line the lens out. That's how hard they went in earlier. So that's why you wear goggles. But he'll be looking like he's spent a day. Actually, I won't say what I'm going to say.
Moving on.
Let's move on. Andrew, Team Australia, after a horror start, come home in position 3, pick up the 5 points, and all we can say is that'll do.
What's heading up? Nice work, boys. Guys, keep through. Great comeback, guys. Awesome. Holy dolly.
Oh, we lost our wing gear.
Bro, I had no lenses the entire race. I couldn't see
Apologies there from Andrew, Team Australia, but understandably just a little bit excited. Sailing the whole race without any wind gear, but they did the job, and that you know, you can tell by just the moment finishing, but doing it with what they didn't have, how stoked they are.
Yeah, the Canadians here. Big pressure now on the German team to execute their manoeuvre well here. Keep the pace on. Get those front sails nice and eased out of this manoeuvre. As you can see the full stall there initially out of those manoeuvres. That really loads the front of the boat and wants to rip the rudder out of the water. So easy to sail in these conditions, but all the little pieces added together to keep the boat sailing well.
Well, you talk about consistency in the last 3 races for ACT Germany, and that will be a 3rd, 4th position in a row. Well done, AC Team Germany.
one coming up.
And Concord Pacific Racing. As we head towards the semi-finals, they'll be rowing just a couple of moves. I mean, at one stage, early in today, they were sitting in 3rd position on the points table. They come home in 5th position, Concord Pacific Racing.
Can't hear you, sorry, what? Coming down and rounding up to 5.
It's a tough learning curve, isn't it? Really tough learning curve.
It goes from all being rosy to having a face full of dirt, sliding under the trees real quick in these conditions. So all the teams learning a lot and pushing the boats hard, but fantastic to see these teams that haven't had a lot of time in these boats, just a lot of time in the virtual world, actually getting it out and pushing these boats hard around the track. So fantastic to see. If you can sail these boats well, the bigger boats are a piece of cake.
So it's time for a familiar chat now on board the Swedish Challenge powered by Artemis Technologies. Oscar Enstrom, congratulations once again. 4 straight wins. Would you have thought that would be the case today looking at the weather?
We're going into it confident. We'll be sailing a lot, but I mean, you never want to wish for that streak. So we're really happy about getting it.
The fact, Oscar, that you've spent a lot of time sailing in this boat, but how much do you learn every time you head out there?
I mean, a lot. This is a really technical boat, and it's getting even harder when we have these waves. So every time we're out on the water, we learn a lot. So I mean, it takes time getting good in these boats, and we're really lucky we got a good summer here in Barcelona training a lot.
Oscar, massive congratulations. It's been great to watch you today. Today felt like a real day for the trimmers, and on your boat, super accurate adjustments in the sails. Tell us a little bit about your guys and how good they are.
Sorry, repeat that again.
Apologies, Oscar. We'll just leave it there, mate. Congratulations on a cracking Saturday on the water.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, for once, the action wasn't at the start line, it was before. Massive nosedive for the Australian team. Goggle ripper, as Glenn would call it. Anyway, they're still attached. He was all good. Well, the Australians were left floundering, but a great start from the Dutch and also from the rather slick Swedish outfit. By gate one, well, they're where they have been most of today. They led round the first mark, looking better and better. And the lead just got more and more. Beautiful sailing from the Swedish Challenge, powered by Artemis Technologies. They once again take the lead this group. Good work.
One, four down.
Let's confirm the race result from race number 6. Remember, they have to race 8 fleet races. And Artemis Swedish Challenge, they are, let's be blunt, they are the form horse, a bit like Luna Rossa in Group A. They are leading the way. And Yacht Team Dutch Sail may just have sailed themselves back into semi-final contention when we take a look at the points, because it is changing as we see it. Because Yacht Team Dutch Sail are now only 5 points behind Sail Team Barcelona. So with potentially 2 races tomorrow, they are well back in the hunt. And there is your leading 3 that are above the cut line. Wow, look at that. Artemis Swedish Challenge, Andu Team Australia, Sail Team Barcelona, Yacht Team Dutch, and Concord Pacific Racing aren't out of it either. So Group B is going to go down to the wire.
It is so tight, but Canada had a real hope in this race, a chance to be on that top 3 and go into the final series. But the top of the course, the last time around, we once again saw a manoeuvre and that they struggled with all day. They sailed wide of the mark, giving themselves time to get ready, but the balance wasn't there. They spun back upwind and struggled to turn down again and actually sailed out of bounds.
So this is the best action from 5 races today, which has seen everything go on. And can you believe what we saw today? 5 races today, and man, we've got 2 to go tomorrow, and another 4 from Group A. It is on. And what did we learn today? What's the biggest takeaway? Let's play that card.
Well, that the boats are very robust. They're taking a lot. And just resilience. I mean, even if you take a big wipeout, just keep on going. And also just how slick is this team. Swedish Challenge, powered by Artemis Technology, really setting the bar.
Actually, the other thing I learned not today is saying anything about Andu Team Australia while they're going through either a drive or attack with Glenn Ashby sitting next to me.
No, we've certainly seen some fantastic action today, and absolutely the boat's getting pushed hard. And that is the reason why the AC40 has won Engineering and Design Boat of the Year last year. Fantastic design package, can take an absolute hammering, but we can sail, consistently at 30 knots around the racetrack in bumpy water, so providing some fantastic action.
It has been a crazy old day here off the coast of Barcelona, but 5 races have certainly provided entertainment. And what's it all about? This, the UniCredit Youth America's Cup Trophy. One team is going to win that. We know there's a couple of hot teams right now, Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, and the Swedish Challenge powered by Artemis, but we've got a long way to go. Beware the Dutch, I say. They could be coming. So just a reminder, tomorrow we have 2 races in Group B, 4 races in Group A. That's right. Now that's going to give Yacht Team Dutch Sail in Group B a huge opportunity to push Sail Team Barcelona out of the 3. So it is all on in Group B. We know the form team in Group A are Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. Can they go on with it? Well, you will just have to join us tomorrow here in Barcelona to find out. We continue to be thrilled by the racing, and all the AC40 teams in the UniCredit Youth America's Cup have stepped up to the plate. So make sure you join us tomorrow at 2 p.m. local time here in Barcelona for more of the best from Barcelona.